Oh boy, I'm the first. That's right, I'm number one, Buster. Greetings and welcome back, my cultists. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome back. I'm glad to see you here. Happy Halloween. I figured what would be the spookiest thing? 2015. And so here we are. Welcome back to 2015. Happy Halloween. Ooh, spooky. Ooh. I'm pretty happy with it. But hi, hello everybody. Hello. Ooh, spooky. Ooh. Yes, hello, I am back. The rumors are true. I have returned. Despite popular belief, it is possible because I am here. How you guys doing? How's everybody holding up? How have you been? It has been a hot second since I've been able to see you guys. So how have you been? Any updates? Any life changes? Also, congrats on being first there, dog lover. I'm very happy for you. I'm very happy for you. Round of applause, truly. Round of applause for being first. You against all odds, you managed to pull off what was seemingly the impossible. And for that, you've earned yourself a good round of applause. Truly, truly. Round of applause. Round of applause.
Did I jump scare you?
No.
Yeah, I bet
no, you didn't. That would be cringe. And I'm not cringe. So yeah, I have a few new redeems in honor of the spooky season. If you guys haven't already found them, I see Charm has. You know, don't like that. Don't like that. That is. But yeah, I even went out of my way and I got rid of my trying to think activity feed in OBS. Now chat still tells me, so I still get the chat updates like so and so redeemed blank, but I'm trying to reduce the opportunity for me to get a head start on it and be like, oh, I know what to expect here. It'll be especially good playing games whenever I'm focused. Today's gonna be a little different. Today we're just kind of chill. I don't have a ton of plans for today. I have a couple ideas on what we can do, but nothing in particular. Meaning we don't have a ton of opportunities for those to be, how one might say, utilized. But they're gonna be there. Maybe so that you guys can spend points on them whenever they aren't as spooky. Who knows? Who knows? I would never make such preposterous claims. Just you know, thinking out loud. But yes, I am back. I'm finally back. And I'm so glad you guys are able to join me. It's been a while. It has been a while. About a little bit over 2 weeks, I suppose it would be. Not intentional. I did, unfortunately, get very busy, but it was a good time. It was a very good time because I was on vacation and I talked about it a lot before I took the vacation, obviously. I talked about it a lot, kind of let you guys know what was going on. But at the end of the day, I haven't been able to really update anybody with what exactly I did get up to, what exactly I did, what exactly happened while I was on vacation. And I am going to be taking today to actually kind of talk about it, chat, just kind of vamp, get up to date, let you guys up to date on everything, kind of just have this one-on-one dialogue. I have a couple ideas on what we can do. Obviously, we can go play video games. I have a few video games that are always ready to go. I also managed to find a surprisingly thematic, it's technically supposed to be a board game or a tabletop game, but I think it would actually be really fun to stream as well. So I might jump into that. Depends. I don't expect to be here talking for too long. Obviously, I have a lot to kind of go over, but I understand people are here to have a good time. People are here to hang out. So hopefully, before too long, we might be able to try out one of those games or the other. I think the tabletop game I found is set to last about an hour-ish. From some of the playthroughs that I saw, it's usually about an hour, maybe an hour and a half. So admittedly, we're gonna be spending a lot of time just kind of hanging out. And again, if we end up needing to, we always have some good old video games to fall back on. But yes, I have come back from vacation. To anybody who didn't know, I was on a 2-week hiatus, specifically so I could go on vacation. Now, during that time, you guys weren't without content. I also uploaded a bunch of videos. I don't know if you guys got to see too many of them, but I did, while I was on vacation, upload, I think it was about... I think it ended up coming out to... Did it just flicker somewhere? No, surely not. I think it ended up coming out to about... I'm trying to think of how long I actually... How long I had and how many I actually managed to upload. Because I have all of Franbo's done. Franbo is completely done. But I was able to only finish Franbo editing and thumbnail-wise. And then I started working on as many Deltarune as I could. I don't think I got too far with Deltarune. I think it was 2 episodes. And so if I was checking them right, it was like 5 or so episodes total over that 2 week, which isn't bad. It's more than I upload normally, which is cool. I know. I'm working on it. I almost finished the next episode of Deltarune. I'm very, very close. I just need to get the last, like, 5 minutes edited, and then I need to get a thumbnail made. And then that one's going to be good to upload, and then I'll checker that with something else. And then, of course, once I get that taken care of, I can start moving on to the next episode. You get the idea. It's just going to be a lot of, like, working on the videos, and then... kind of, I'm going to try and record some new things. I'm going to try and get some, like, new games to check her in, so it's not just Franbo and Deltarune. But that's, like, a whole time commitment, and then I also have to edit it, and then I also have to get the thumbnail. It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. But I'm hoping to get those done before too long. But yeah, while I was on hiatus, I did upload those. You what? There's nothing to clip. It's just not possible. It's just, you guys have nothing on me. It's... Regardless, I'm going to kiss you. Cat, I put Char in. No. I'm.
Who's a good boy? Who is it? Who's a good boy?
Both of no. So I was on vacation, right? I was on vacation, and it was a great time. It was a great time. For anybody who missed it, we went on vacation. To Japan. It was a lifelong vacation dream of mine. That's like the place I've wanted to. No. I wouldn't. That would be crazy. It would be, dare I say, cringe, and I'm not cringe. So I managed to go on vacation, and it was great. I had a great time. It was to Japan. I love the opportunity to go to Japan, and I do say we. I say we because it wasn't just me. It was me and my grandmother, which. Love her, you know, obviously she's family, but admittedly there are a lot of things that do stress me out. And that was no exception. It was about 11, 12 days. Pretty stressful days. I'm not gonna lie. Pretty stressful days, all things considered, because man, I can only handle so much. Especially being in the same bedroom. So there's really no break. No. You don't need to watch that. Mods, you can get rid of that. Mods? I'm sure. Anyway, but yeah, old people are stressful. Old people are gods. I didn't realize how almost all old people act the exact same. It's just a lot. But despite that, I still had a great time. I still had a fantastic time. So, I'll try to take it from the top, right? I'll kind of like explain everything as it happened and have this conversation with you guys, answer any questions, just chat, right? That's what we're trying to do today. Also, the photos and updates on your socials were cool. Yeah, I was pretty happy with that. I didn't update too often. I didn't have a ton of photos that I would post. But I did have a few. Whenever I'd have a thought that cropped up or like an idea, I wanted to kind of share it, and so I put those on the social media platforms that I have. I didn't put them on Discord, but just because I felt it was a weird place for me to be putting them. But in hindsight, I probably should have, since people might not follow me on those platforms. With that being said, let's take it from the top, right? The first very important thing is, of course, getting there, right? What exactly did that look like? I mean, admittedly, I've been on planes kind of my whole life. As a kid, I moved around a lot. So, admittedly, the whole process of going on a plane, that was whatever, right? It wasn't anything too exciting. A little frustrating because I'm the kind of person, I hate leaving my luggage. I hate checking it. I hate leaving it somewhere, right? I hate checking the luggage and then letting somebody else take care of it, and then it's God knows where, right? Especially whenever it was the extra layer of stress of essentially I was set to leave, go on planes all day, get to an airport, go to a hotel, stay in, I think this was in, it must have been in Texas. I was in Texas. So they're awful. I hate airports. I hate airports so much. They're just like malls, but worse. Like, I managed to get to the airport without any issues. But I had been given the opportunity to check my bag. I'm like, I really don't want to. I'd rather have the pain of lugging it along because I have the stress of essentially getting to an airport, staying somewhere overnight, and not having my bag or needing to grab it and then run it through TSA again anyway. It was just a whole thing. So I dealt with the problem of having my bag on me at all times, lugged that through the airport, lugged that through the airplane, it was Dallas. It was Dallas. I got to Dallas, Texas. Got off, managed to get an Uber. This is the first time I had ever used Uber, by the way. Managed to use the Uber application on my cell phone. I almost said the Uber. And I'm like, nah, I'll just commit. It's the Uber application. To of course get a ride. The first time I ever used Uber, the guy was nice, so I can't really complain. He was like conversational. He was like conversationally friendly, so he would like ask questions to elicit responses, just have that dialogue, which is fine. But honestly, I'd rather just kind of, after a whole day on the airplane and a whole day at airports, I kind of just wanted to be quiet. But I'm too socially anxious to just ignore it. So I did, I had a little bit of conversation, went to the airport, got dropped off, or went to the hotel, got dropped off, stayed there overnight. It wasn't too bad. I mean, the hotel was nice. I don't honestly know if I've stayed in a hotel alone like that before, but it was fine. It was a hotel by an airport. If you've been to one, you've kind of been to them all. Nothing luxurious, nothing like super fancy, but nice. And they had breakfast in the morning, so I was able to actually eat something before I got to the airport, which was nice, because if you've ever been to an airport, you know they overcharge for food. Wildly overcharged. They're in no universe should they be charging as much as they are for what they're offering. So I was able to kind of get away with that. The plane almost crashed once while you were on it. Almost died. See, that's a whole story time on its own. I don't even know how that just happens, but I'm glad you're okay. $20 for an apple. You say that, but it's hardly even a joke. I went and got, I think it was whenever I was leaving. I was leaving to go to Dallas, it must have been. And I went to a Wendy's that was by the terminal. And it was $15 for the most basic chicken sandwich meal. I know for a fact it is not $15 for a chicken sandwich meal at Wendy's. It is not. That's not what they normally charge. They just happen to be charging that. I'm guessing because it was at an airport. Absurd prices. So I was able to get breakfast at the hotel before I went to the airport, which was nice. Got to the airport, met up with my grandma there. She, like I said, she travels a lot. I think I said this a few streams ago. She travels a lot. She travels very, very much. So she has all the premium benefits for whatever airlines just from frequent usage. Can't escape an airport too. Exactly. Well, you can leave, but you'd have to either rent a car, get a ride, which you're also paying for, to just go somewhere to eat, which you're also paying for, and then you get to go back, and then you get to recheck all your stuff. You get to check your bag, you go through the security line. Headache. So you have to eat at the airport or starve. But I met up with my grandma. She was off. She was just at one of the luxury airline little waiting rooms. To anybody who hasn't been to one, it's essentially just a place with extra comfy chairs, usually drinks and snacks, as hey, thank you for flying with us as often as you have. Here, have some free stuff. They're not great, but you might be able to get a bottle of water, maybe some Doritos, some loose Doritos, not a bag of Doritos. No, just in a jar. They might have Doritos that you can pick out with tongs, kind of thing. It's a nice upgrade from your normal airport. But at the end of the day, it's free food. you can't complain too much, but it's also you're getting what you pay for kind of thing. So she was hanging out one of those like fancy premium lobbies. I was just chilling at the terminal, hanging out. I brought my also, is the music, can you guys actually hear the music? I can't tell if it's balanced well. If you guys, because I think it's a little bit too quiet. I'm gonna crank it up a little bit. I was just hanging out at the terminal. I brought my Steam Deck that I got. Yeah, you didn't. Yeah, that's what I figured. That's what I figured. I'm gonna crank it up a little bit more. Here a bit. Yeah, I just need to be balanced between, of course, me and the music, so you can kind of hear both. Hopefully that's a little bit better. So I was just hanging out playing my Steam Deck. I gotten it back whenever I worked at Taco Bell, so before I had bills to pay. I bought it with just my money, so I was able to actually I like having the little guys follow around. So I've had that for a while. I don't use it too often because admittedly my computer's in my room. I don't need it too often, but when I'm traveling, it is very nice to have. So I was just playing like Into the Gungeon or something, maybe some Hades, Balatro, right? I was playing around on it, waiting around. Grandma comes over. We have like some light talk. It's mostly her just telling me about her friends, which is fine because it means I don't have to talk as much. But it's also like I can't play my game. Like I don't want to be the guy who's like, yeah, and playing a game at the same time as somebody's talking to me. I don't want to be that guy. So I'm not able to do anything to entertain myself, but it's not bad, all things considered. Eventually, she's like, all right, I'm just going to hang out. Gonna go like run to the bathroom, whatever. All is well. We just hang out there for a little bit. And eventually they call, right? The terminal is like, all right, and we're now boarding. She boards before me because she's old and she gets priority boarding. You know, that's fair. That's fair. That's a fair reason. Eventually I get boarded, and if you guys have never been on an international flight, which I would assume most of you haven't, it's a pretty rare experience. You'll know they're not bad. It's generally a nicer experience from your traditional plane because you're stuck on it for like 10 plus hours. I think my flight was supposed to be 11 hours plus to get from Texas to... Yeah, because it was from... I think we left from Texas. Yeah, it was from Texas to Japan. So it was an international flight. And admittedly, yeah, they're fine. They are nice. They give you like a little pillow. It's a little cheap pillow. It's like a maybe a foot long, maybe 12 inches. You don't know how you survive for such a long flight. Honestly, the biggest thing that makes them tolerable is the fact that they have a movie player. The seat backs have a little screen, and you can sometimes play games. Sometimes you can listen to music, but it's mostly there for the movies and TV shows. Which is basically what I did, right? So they give you this little 12-inch pillow, a cheap little like woolen blanket, and they just leave you to your devices. I was fortunate, unfortunate. I was in a weird spot. Okay. I was in a weird spot where essentially I was the youngin' on the plane next to an old man. It was just an old, just this old guy seated right next to me, which is generally fine, except for the fact that he was old and had an old bladder, meaning I would have to repeatedly get up and let him out because I was the aisle seat, meaning I had to get up, stand out, let him free, sit down for like a few minutes, and he'd come back, and it was the whole process. Normally, I don't mind being aisle, but whenever it's an old guy, it's a little like, get it off, go on. It's a little like, because then you're just like, you're constantly on edge. I think he was Vietnamese, so he didn't really speak much English. Like, he just didn't speak much English, so we just had to like gesture. Like, he just had to wildly gesture whenever he needed something. I'm like, yeah, okay, cool. And we got away with it, right? We did get away with it, so it was fine. Throughout the flight, it was pretty calm, pretty chill. It was pretty much just me sitting there. I'd plug in my, because they do give you, traditionally overnight, like, international flights, they'll give you headphones, like earbuds, for the TV, because obviously they're not going to have speakers, so people around you aren't going to be bothered by it. So they give you earbuds or headphones for the flight. This one was earbuds. I don't even crack them open anymore, because good God, those are miserable. They're miserable. They're the most uncomfortable, cheap pieces of plastic, waste of space you will ever put on. Horrible experience. So I've started packing my own wired earbuds specifically for that. Makes it so much nicer. So much nicer. So I really just sat there, listened to, like, watched a few movies. I can't remember anything specific I watched on the way there. But I watched some, I think I watched, no, I can't think of anything specific. I watched a few movies. And then I played a little bit more on the Steam Deck just to kind of kill some time. The flight was generally, uneventful. Again, international flights, being on there for 11 hours, not only do you get movies, which is nice, the blanket, which is okay, the pillows, alright, they also give you meals, because admittedly, they can't expect you to be able to pack food, or access food that you have packed for an 11-hour flight, so they do give you meals. Because of the timing of it, we actually got 3 meals during the flight, which was nice. It was like, one when we got on for dinner, one in the morning for breakfast, and then once again for lunch. Because we eventually arrived in Japan around like 11, 12, like around noon. So it made sense for them to just give us some extra meals while we were there. So I ate on the plane. Flight went fine. Like, there were really no issues. The biggest annoyance is with overnight, like long flights, international flights like that. The main thing you have to be careful with is when you go to the bathroom. Right? If you've ever been on an airplane bathroom, you'll know they're fine. They're kind of gross, but generally it's like just loud and uncomfortable, but not a terrible experience. The problem with it is whenever you are given meals on the flight. So, okay. Mute the stream if you get grossed out by, like, just simple body functions. I'm not going to go into detail about anything, but just do that until, like, I don't know, I shake a lot or something. Because essentially, and I think this is really fascinating. I think this is really cool. Whenever you eat, whenever a mammal, or I think any animal, eats, the body will then want to clear out what it has to make space for the new food, to kind of break it down into nutrients and then get rid of that. So whenever you eat, you will then have to generally, soon after you eat, you go to the bathroom, right? This is something called the gastrocolonic response. This is quite literally your stomach talking to your colon and saying, hey, we got to get rid of this. We got some stuff coming in. And then it saying, all right, let's go. Let's get it out of here. That's quite literally what happens. Quite literally, it's just your body saying, like, all right, get it out. We got some new package coming in. And that's the whole process. So essentially, because of the gastrocolonic response, if you are served a meal on a plane, literally within the next 10 minutes after, I would say, okay, I'll say within 15 minutes of getting the food, right? To give time for people to eat. And then let's say 20. I'll be generous. Let's say 20 minutes. Within that 20-minute period, the bathrooms will be completely busy. There will be people lining up outside of them. Oh, here. Wow, it's whatever. They're just letting people know that might have muted the stream. We're good. But essentially because of that, the people will be lining up. So if you have to go, you either go before or you hold it for like 45 minutes to an hour after to go. Which can be annoying, especially whenever you have an old guy sitting next to you. Again, it was fine. I just, like, I got to the point where it's like, not to be gross, but I think we've all experienced it. I think we've all experienced it at some point where it's like, you don't pee for so long that it does, like, it starts to get uncomfortable. Like, it's like, oh, it kind of hurts. Especially if you're sitting down, it's just like, I don't like this. This is uncomfortable, right? But whenever you eventually end up going, it's like, man, this feels amazing. It's finally relief. It's relief. This is what it feels like to live. This is what it means to be alive. Like, it got to that point where it was just like, I don't like this. But generally everything else went fine. So we land. Customs are fine. I mean, it was a little stressful because before we even got on the plane, my grandma was like, hey, I'll just meet you, because she would get off before me and she's slower than me. She was just like, hey, I'll meet you at customs. I'm like, all right, cool. Sounds great. I've never been through this on my own, so I don't really know what to expect. So I'm glad somebody who's traveled a lot will be able to tell me kind of what to go through. So I get off the plane, I start walking. And I keep walking. I don't see her. Grandma, nowhere to be seen. Just not in sight. Also, we have like 30 seconds or so before an ad starts. So I will kind of like pause on the story once the ad starts, just so that you guys know. I don't see her. Not in sight. So I keep walking. I just follow the crowd. I'm like, okay, I don't really know where I'm going, but there are enough signs saying like, hey, international customs, returning residents. And I would just follow, like, admittedly, I followed the white guy. I followed the white guy. I was like, okay, he seems like he knows what he's doing. Also, he does not look like a resident. I know I profiled, but he doesn't look like a resident. So I just kind of followed him along. Okay, also an ad break, I think, just started. So I'm going to chill here for a little bit. Man, I keep needing to cough because, like, I keep getting, like tickle in the throat. I have not talked this consistently, this long, for a hot second. For a hot second. Man, it is something else. I gotta get back in the rhythm. I gotta do my vocal warm-ups. I didn't get to have any tea before I started. I am a fool. I didn't have my tea. I'm trying to drink tea more. I still don't like it. I still don't like tea. But it's better for you. And it has, like, good things, I guess. But the main thing is it's a warm drink that doesn't include sugar as, like, the baseline. So it actually... Tea and other warm drinks kind of open the throat and everything for talking for long periods. It's vocal warm-up stuff. So admittedly, I should be drinking hot drinks more. I just don't like tea. Tea is just gross. It's just yucky. It's not for me. It's not for me. And that's okay. That's okay. Like, I just suffer. Admittedly, I just suffer. It's gross, and it's just not a fun experience, but it's good for me. It's like medicine. Admittedly, I treat tea like medicine. Like, it's just like it's a necessity.
I can't drink tea. It just goes right through me, or at least through my head.
I don't like the image of that. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not a fan of that image. That image is, ugh. No, just Corvus, buddy. I don't even know how you would even start to drink. Just anything in general. I'll be honest, like anything. Cause birds, how do birds drink? Do they use their tongue? Is it like dogs but with a beak? How do birds drink? Hang on. How do birds drink? Do they just like scoop it up? Do they just like scoop it up? Or is it, do they fill the beak and then like tip the head back? What do they do? Do they, what? Scoop or shake I think that it's gotta be that, right? Like they scoop it, just hold in the beak and then just throw it back. They're literally throwing it back. Okay, that's what it looks like. Most of the images seem like that's what it is. Hummingbirds use the tongue to just like, you're right. Like that's like their whole thing. I think they do just like they scoop it, hold it, and then just throw it back to help swallow it. Yeah, and he doesn't have the underside of the, well, I mean, a beak. No, I mean, he could get it held in the beak, but he wouldn't be able to, like, it wouldn't, you know, Corvus couldn't throw it back, you know? Corvus can't throw it back. Man, anybody that just came in from the ad break must be so confused. You're just like, what is happening? Okay, but, yeah, so I start just following the white guy, just kind of walking through, animate a bird with thick booty. Ooh, oh my goodness, a thick booty thrown at, oh my, oh my virgin ears, no, don't hurt him now, bird boy, or bird girl. I don't judge, anybody can throw it back. But I just start following the white guy in the airport, right? I'm just kind of like, okay, he probably knows where he's going. And he's generally following the signs that say, like, international customs. So I was like, okay, worst case scenario, if he starts going somewhere weird, I'll just follow the signs. So that's what I do. I still don't see my grandma. I'm just walking. It's like a 5-6 minute walk. Just like down some stairs, through some halls, around some court. Like it was just kind of all over the place, but it was generally fine. Get to this giant room. Big room. The ceilings aren't like massive, but it's wide. It's a very wide room. Somewhere, if you've been through TSA, it's about the same width as TSA. So just like wide, long, not super tall, but just like a big room in general. White, just sterile looking. I'm like, okay, sure, yeah, no, I'll just follow the I want to call them turnstiles, but like the rope, the black rope ways, right? I'll follow through them. People are walking through it. I'll just follow through. So I'm walking around, and then there's this woman. She's just standing there. She's just like, "Do you have a QR code?" I'm like, "No." She's like, "All right, go this way." Okay. So I go the way she directs to this small little box room kind of looking area. Like it's a bunch of desks, essentially, a bunch of desks kind of arranged. Each desk is fitted with a plastic instruction sheet placed on the desk, and then a bunch of papers. I'm like, oh gods, I have to fill something out. Apparently you can pre-fill out this information, get a QR code, and they'll just scan it and you just go straight through. I had no no way of knowing this. There's no recollection because there's nothing to recollect. I didn't know it existed. So I had to be like, okay, sure. Yeah, no, I can do this. So I go over. I grab one of the papers or grab a little pen that they have sitting around. I'm like, okay, I'll just fill it out. I could probably get it right. If they have any questions, I'll just answer them. Luckily, it's in English. Luckily, it is in English. But as I'm looking through it, I'm like, they ask for an address, but they don't have a box for an address. So where do I fill it out? Where do I put it? It's like little things like that where it's just like, hey, here's this. Where do I put it? What am I supposed to put here? Where do I put it? And there's nobody to ask any questions. Like there's nobody around to ask questions to. I don't want to like lean over and look at somebody else's paper and be like, just like, what'd you get for number 5? Like I don't want to cheat off other people's papers because that one that feels very illegal. 2, I don't think I would be able to really even do it covertly. So I'm just there like, okay, I don't know where to fill this out. It just asks like, okay, how long's your stay? Okay, 10 days. Cool. Where are you staying? Cruise ship. Okay, cool. Here's the name of the cruise ship. This specific cruise line. All right, cool. Address. I don't know where to put this. Cool. Are you bringing in any contraband? No. Do you have any fruits, veggies, meat? No. Just like little things like that. Fill it out. Okay, I think this is good enough. I start kind of milling around like, okay, where do I go from here? I find the same lady. She's like, oh, you fill it out? All right, cool. Go this way. So I was like, all right, thank you. Go through, get to this wide, it's like a bunch of individual booths, I guess, with like security people working it. Customs, like that kind of thing. Like they are there to check your passport, check your papers, make sure everything lines up and let you through. Whatever. Go through it. There are no issues with it, which is good. And as I'm standing there going through the process, I'm like, hang on. I recognize that gray hair and just distant, vague expression anywhere. My grandma had gone through this whole process. I wasn't able to ask her a single thing the whole time because she had already gone through it. She just went through. Whenever she said, oh, I'll meet you at customs, she meant after customs. I'm like, that would have been nice to have. That would have been nice information to have. Because the whole time I'm like, where on earth could she be? Turns out she got off way before me. Like, off the plane way before I did. I just went through the process. I'm like, cool. I'm glad there was nobody to ask questions to. No, she was just going straight through it, I guess. I think she was seated ahead of me on the plane. The weird part was just that she went through the whole I think she had the QR code. If I had to guess, she filled it out online, had the QR code, was able to scan it and go through it way faster. Because I never saw her fill anything out. I never saw her getting off the plane. I was closer to the back, so she had plenty of time to make that distance. I'm just surprised I never saw her. Eventually, go through the process. No problems. They didn't arrest me or anything. Meet up with her. We go through, like, proper, like, the last end of customs. Get out to the airport proper. Everything's fine. She's like, okay. So I have a private, like, she, like, pre-booked a taxi, essentially. She booked a shuttle, kind of. Somebody to just drive us from the airport to our hotel. Because the hotel is about 45 minutes away from the airport. It's a drive. Basically, we landed in I think we landed in Tokyo, and we had to go to Asakusa. Which, here, just, I can actually Google Maps. I actually know the name of the hotel, too. So, from Tokyo airports? I'm trying to think of which one it was. Is it Haneda? Haneda? It must have been. I mean, it looks similar. And it'll whatever. It'll be close enough. It'll be close enough. Haneda. To, can I get like directions? Yeah. To the hotel that we were going to. To this, it is okay. It's about 33 minutes. It's about 30 some minutes drive. So immediately it wasn't bad, but we got to drive like past Tokyo. So that I was like, okay, cool. So we get off the plane, we go through customs, we go to this the main airport proper. Immediately it feels honestly pretty similar. It felt a little bit more like organized, if that makes sense, like more structured. People weren't just kind of like milling around like bugs. They kind of knew where they were going to be. People clearly knew where they wanted to go. It was nice. But it was an airport. So we go through, and you immediately get greeted with like a bunch of people with like holding signs like, oh, I'm here for Clinton, I'm here for Lincoln, just like the different last names, party of 5, things like that. And somebody had flowers for I'm guessing their family member that was revisiting, stuff like that. She's like, okay, so apparently our driver's supposed to be there with a sign. Okay, cool. She's like, okay, which terminal are we in? I think it was like, we're in terminal 2. She's like, okay, cool. She sends him an email. We wait. We look like those typical white tourists who are just kind of standing around looking lost. Because we were. Because our guy never showed up. The driver never showed up to that room. So we're just like, okay. So do we what are we gonna do? She's like, okay. She sends him an email. He emails her back. He's like, oh, sorry, wrong area. So then he's just like, okay, I'll meet you guys outside. Cool, whatever, fine. It doesn't hurt. We were only waiting for like 5-10 minutes. It was not long, but it was just like, okay, I kind of wish we had been able to have this conversation before we got to this point, but it's fine. It's fine. So we leave the airport like proper, go out to the curb. Immediately we have the I have the realization that I have taken far more steps to kind of not assimilate, but stand out less in Japan than my grandma has. And again, she has traveled a lot. She's traveled a lot. I have clearly taken more steps to try and not be a lost tourist than she has. Because immediately she just we go out. We're not able to find the crosswalk immediately because there's no like signs that we can read saying, hey, the crosswalk's over here. Because we need to basically get across the road to the other side to get to the part where they're like private cars will pick people up, like taxis and things like that. So she just goes up to a random person. She's like, hey, have you seen the crosswalk? Meanwhile, I'm like, hey, grandma, it's over. I've noticed where it is. Like I looked using my boy eyes and I've noticed it's over there. She's like, do you know where the crosswalk is? I'm like, grandma, it's over here. She's like, okay, well, thank you. We just go. It's a little like stressful for me because I have horrible social anxiety. And so her just like approaching random locals, just being like, hey, have you seen it? It's just like, okay, yes, this is generally works. And the people in Japan are very, very nice and accommodating, but they're also generally a very reserved, it's a very reserved culture. And so just like approaching random people as often as she does in general stresses me out. I mean, it's fine. Like, it's whatever. We managed to go through crosswalk, go to the other side, wait there. Eventually the driver shows up. Like, it's not a problem. It's a nice enough day. It's warm. Japan is generally a pretty warm place. It's technically a tropical climate. So it's generally humid. It's hot. You do have rainy seasons, and the cold is sometimes there, but it's not like America kind of cold, right? In the north, like Canada cold. Like you're not getting several inches of snow, you're getting maybe like an inch or two of snow, right? That's at the worst, generally. Obviously, mountainous areas will be different, but generally it's pretty warm. It's like the South. It's like the North America South. Like, a little bit warmer generally, a little bit humid generally. Can have some nice days, but usually you're looking at like 80 on average, especially like through the summer. Obviously, it can go higher. Can sometimes go a little bit lower, but 80 is about the average. Mid to high 70s, probably average. 80 at the long stretch. It's nice. It's cloudy, so it's not too hot, but it's warm. I have my hoodie on. I have a little beanie on. It's fine. So I just take off the hoodie, wrap it around my waist. It's whatever. Eventually, the driver shows up. He's like, "Hey, sorry." I'm like, "You're fine. Daijoubu. He's like, "Oh, you speak." I don't actually know what it is in Japanese, but he's like, in Japanese, like, "Oh, you speak Japanese?" I'm like, yeah. And I just like held up my hand for like the little like whenever you're trying to just show somebody a little with your hand, just like the pinch thing. It's like It's a little awkward, but it's fine. He takes my grandma's bag. He starts going. I start following him. Grandma is slow. Like she's just slow. There's no two ways about it. She is a slow walker because old. And there's nothing that can really be helped about that. That's just kind of how it is, right? That's just how it is. So he is zooming. He is not sweating. He is on business. This man was walking. So he was just going. I'm like, okay, cool. I'll keep up. I look around. She's gone. Like, she's just in the dust. Grandma, not seeing. She is way behind us. I'm like, yeah, she'll catch up. Like, I was about to be like, hey, she's slow. But I figured she'll catch up. She knows where we're going. She knows, like, she's mature enough to recognize, hey, not everybody's going to be as slow as me, right? So eventually we do get there. He's very proactive. He's a very proactive guy. He's like, all right, I'm gonna throw it in the car, get these put these in the in the back. He takes my bag, he takes her bag. He already has it, so he loads that up. He takes her other bag, he loads that up. Like he is on top of it. He's like, all right, get in. So we get right in. It's he has like a van, so we had like the wide seats. You don't really ride shotgun as much, but it's just like those wide seats. So I crawl in. Grandma crawls in. I think she ended up crawling in. She got the seat closer to the driver, which was a little, I don't know. It irked me a little bit, just a little bit. I wanted to be closer to the driver so that she couldn't do what she did, which is be under the impression that louder and slower will make it more easily understood. Yeah, she was under the impression that essentially if somebody can't understand you because they speak a different language, being louder and talking slower will make them magically understand you. That's not the case. She's also a very like many old people. To get your attention, she will touch you. She'll like touch your shoulder, touch your arm to like get your attention. Have you noticed that? Have you noticed old people are very like, they're very touchy. They're very touchy. Where it's like, oh, hey, Derry. And it's like they not grab, but it's like they do pat your arm. Like, why did you touch me? Like, it didn't hurt. It's just, why did you do that? And she does that to strangers. What the what? I'm sure that's fine. It was probably nothing. I'm probably just hearing things. Yeah, so she's just trying to communicate, hey, we're going to this hotel. He's like, yeah. She's like, no, this hotel. It was fine. Like, we were able to communicate. He spoke well enough English to where it wasn't an issue. But that was it was brief. Eventually, he takes us to the hotel. It's a nice drive, right? I'm just able to relax. The only drawback is the like van, all of the back windows are tinted, like tinted dark, which is nice because then of course it's not bright and glare in the eyes. The drawback for that is it means taking pictures sucks. Like, it won't work out well. It'll be too dark to see anything. But the drive was generally okay. right? Nothing to really complain about. I wasn't able to take pictures, which is fine, because we did drive past, like, Tokyo proper, which means we did pass, like, all of the towering, all of the towering skyscrapers, like, seeing the city from the highway. It was cool. It honestly just felt like you were driving through any, like on the highway of Dallas, right? You see the buildings in the distance, and it's like, cool, those are buildings. And it didn't feel very different, but it was cool to see, nonetheless. Eventually, we get to the hotel. He unloads us. I don't like that. I don't like that. He unloads us. We get out. Everything's fine. We get to the hotel. He pulls up. As we're getting up to the hotel, it's worth mentioning. As we're getting out of the up to the hotel, we are on like tight streets. People are just walking in the road because cars are so slim down these kind of roads. They're legal, and that's technically where they are supposed to go. But they're so slim that people just kind of walk across the road itself without generally any problems. And so it's like a slow crawl up to the hotel, turns this tight corner, unloads us, says his farewell. She immediately goes and like tips him, which is fine, but people in Japan, they don't really tip. You can. Tipping's fine. You can do it. It's not going to be like an insult, but you just don't. It's a very American thing. Tipping is a very American thing. Yeah, it's not like an insult, but it does come off as like, hey, here's a little something extra, even though you did a great job. Because a lot of the time, and I don't want to speak for an entire like country that I don't actually live in or like actually experience day to day. Generally, from what I read, because I did a lot of reading on it, so this is information from what I read. Take this with a grain of salt. But from what I've read, generally they're happy as long as they do a good job, right? As long as you give them like a good arigatou gozaimasu, like a good like respectful bow, like showing that you appreciate them. That's generally enough to be like, hey, I really appreciate what you did, and they're happy with that. A tip is fine, and obviously money is money, but it's not generally something you do. And it can't, I mean, depending on the individual, it could be seen as insulting. Generally not. Generally it's fine, but it could, I guess, come off that way. Regardless, she goes through, she tips him, which is fine. Unloads our stuff. We go up to the hotel. Hotel is nice. It's a nice hotel. I've been to a good few hotels in my time. It's a nicer one. Like, it's not bougie, but the person at the desk is very welcoming. She's very like I've noticed customer service. Not all customers. Honestly, a lot of the women in customer service were very like they just smile. They just like they're very, very like smile always kind of vibes, which is fine. It's welcoming, but I also don't know how to tell if somebody's necessarily pretending to be happy unless they're American. Like, Americans I can read. Outside of that, I can't read as well. Go figure. It's like, I don't know if they're forcing it or if they're genuinely happy, which is a nice change. It's a nice change. But like, they're very welcoming. She's very kind. She's very nice. She isn't like fluent in English, but she knows enough to where we're able to like ask some simple questions. Grandma was like, hey, are we able to get, because we're in Asakusa. We need to go to the pier because we are boarding a cruise the next day. So she was like, hey, am I able to reserve a taxi? She's like, yeah, sure. We typically do it the next day. She's like, oh yeah, we'll just do it in the morning. So we do. Like, we drop it for now. It's like, all right, cool. Everything's fine. Everything's kosher. Go through the check-in process. Go in. It's already really interesting how they had it, at least at this hotel, where to even use the elevator, you have to have a room key. Like, you have to tap your room key to get in the elevator to go to the floor that you need, where you'll then need your room key to get in your bedroom. Which, I mean, like, it's a nice layer of security. It was just weird to see. I'm sure other hotels, especially those in the US, probably do it. But it was the first time I really saw it, which was interesting. But generally nothing to write home about. Got in, went to the floor, got to the bedroom. Bedroom's tiny. Like probably the smallest hotel room I've ever been in. The beds take up most of the space in the room. They have a desk, but this tells you a lot. It didn't even have a cuck chair. They took away the cuck chair. There was no cuck chair in this room because there was just no space. There was no space for a cuck chair. The beds were like maybe a foot or two apart, like a foot and a half. I would say a generous foot and a half apart. There's this tiny desk pressed against the wall, like built into the wall kind of thing, with little to no space underneath it, and a rolling chair. So I guess they kind of had a cuck chair, but it was the cuck rolling chair. It was the cuck office chair. So it wasn't like it wasn't a proper cuck chair, right? You wouldn't want to be cucked in that chair. So they had something, I guess. But it was to use the small desk space they gave you. There was a TV, which is fine. I didn't really, for obvious reasons, I didn't really use it. Can't speak Japanese, can't read Japanese, can't understand Japanese. So listening to the TV would have done me nothing. So the room is tiny, very small. The beds take up most of the space. They were nice beds, comfy. Like it was hotel beds. The coolest thing, honestly, was the view from the bedroom. Because you could see the streets down below. This is a city. Asakusa is a city. But what was nice about this area is it's a city, but it's like in the heart of business, like the commerce part. So you see a lot of businesses running alongside the road. And businesses typically will be like little holes in the wall where you can just like a lot of them, at least the ones that were in this area, didn't have doors. Like it wasn't like a door go in. Sometimes they would have like a curtain that you could go through, like a little bar that you could sit at, or maybe some outdoor seating. But generally this isn't like an open the door, go inside, roam around. This is okay, you can go in through the curtain, kind of poke around, and then leave, right? Unless you buy something. Well, not like you're being forced out, but like there's no space to just like loiter because they're small. But like you could get a nice view, see everything that was in the area, which was pretty cool. I actually liked that. The other big thing for the bedroom, aside from it being small and having a pretty decent view, was the fact that they had the fancy bathroom. What do I mean by that? I mean they have the fancy toilet. Yeah, that's right. I got to experience the Japanese toilets. And man, it is hard to come back to America with those. I'll be so honest. It is so nice. It's so nice. I've never used a bidet before then. Bidets are nice. Bidets are nice. They're nice to have. You feel clean. You feel clean. Like, you feel clean afterwards. But the best part isn't necessarily the bidet. It isn't the fact that they would air dry you if you so chose. Like, so they had a hair dryer built in that you could dry your tuchus. It's not necessarily that. Sure, that's a pretty nice feature. The best part is the heated seats. They have heated toilet seats. Like, it's not life-changing. It's not end of the world that you don't have it. But man, it is such a nice little touch where just like, I could sit down and just be cozy immediately. Like, it's not a problem. Like, I don't have to worry about like anything being cold. Like, it's warm. I get the bidet. The water, depending on the one you have, the water is warmed. Like, they have warm water. Like, it's just nice. It's just a nice experience. Like, it's an experience. Like, it was good. It was good. Like, that was my first exposure to it. I was like, oh man, this is actually pretty nice. This is actually pretty nice. I do actually like this. This is a good experience. And it was fun. Like, it was a fun thing to be like, all right, I've never used a bidet. I used to live in Europe where they exist, but they're not like a public thing. You can have them and they're not uncommon, but they aren't like as you see. My first experience, pretty decent, actually. The weird one was the shower. The shower did that thing where you, like, mix your own water, which I never got. I never understood that. I'm sure there's some plumbing reason why that's, like, the easier one. But, like, you're supposed to mix, like, your hot and your cold to get the perfect temperature, and then you turn... It was a pain, but it wasn't an issue. I've also noticed they like tubs there a lot. Like, they like tub showers. Again, maybe it's just the fact that I stayed in a hotel and then I stayed on a cruise ship where those might have just been more standard rather than a shower. And I guess technically now I have a bathtub shower, but in here in the States, I've seen more showers than bathtub showers. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Maybe that's my experience. It's just, I've noticed that's become more of a trend because people don't take nearly as many baths as they might have. It can. Honestly, I don't remember the last time I took a bath. I genuinely do not remember the last time I took a bath. It has been a hot second since I've even drawn a bath. I mean, now, I've thought about doing it here now that I have a bathtub shower. I've thought about it. The problem with that is I don't know how I'm supposed to how I'm supposed to plug my bathtub. That's a whole other thing. But like I can't twist it to close it. Pressing it down is cool, but I have to hold it down to keep it closed. Like it doesn't press and twist or anything. I've tried everything I can think of. It doesn't seem to seal. Like there's nothing in it. There's nothing in there. Like they gave me no tools. It's just the drain piece. I don't know if that's what would be the drain cap, but it's like just that. So I guess I would need to buy something else, or maybe I'm just dumb. I've had to like unclog the drain before, so like I've had to twist it open, but I can't like tighten it or anything. Like it's just there. Also, we have an ad coming up before too long. Yeah, I'll probably have to buy something for it, which is annoying, but I also don't take baths enough to worry about it. Am I just supposed to like do I just like put body wash in the bath to make it clean water, or I don't know what I'm supposed to do for a bath. Last time I took a bath, I think I had access to like the what is it called? Like Mr. Fizz? Mr. Bubble? Mr. Bubble. Bubbles. Mr. Bubbles. Yeah, I had like the canned Mr. Bubbles. Like the spray foam. I think that was the last time I took a bath, was the last time I had something like that. But like specifically the can, and not the twin pack, the bubble foam soap. The doodle and fluffy pack. What even is it? What even is it supposed to be used for? I'm stalling because I see we got an ad. So I'm kind of just buying time here. Foam soap. So it is soap. Draw right, create, clean, fun for the... So is it just like to make baths more fun? Do they actually do anything? Do they clean you? It doesn't look like it. It looks like it's just foam. It looks like it's just foam. Yeah, so I don't even really know. Do I throw a bath bomb in? I don't have any. It is soap. Like, it is clean. But I feel like you're supposed to put something in the bath water to make it, like, bath water. Which I can now... If I start a bath... I can sell it. I can sell Bagel bath water. Oh, baby. Oh, the money's rolling, and I can feel it. I can feel the money rolling in with this business idea. Oh, it's gonna sell billions. But I'm gonna be rich. I'm gonna be rich. Yeah, yeah. Better have everything. Oh, of course. I'll throw in a slab of cream cheese. Why not? Just to really make it feel like an experience. Just to really feel like an experience, you know? I actually have considered. It's a seemingly random thought, but we have 30 seconds to kill in the ad break anyway. Yeah, I knew we'd have a buyer. Yeah, perfect. I've looked into, because I am an affiliate. Hey guys, I'm an affiliate with Candle. If you guys want some VTuber themed scents, check out Candle, candle.shop, QANDLE.shop. Or is it candle.store? I'm not a great partner. Is it candle.shop or store? I think they both take you to a website. Candle.store. QANDLE.store. STORE. Use my code FRIGID115 to get 15% off. This applies to scented products except tea lights and incense. That's Frigid115 at candle.store. Yeah? But yeah, I've considered, like, if I had my own scent, would I call it like bagel bath water or something? Either way. Weird timing, but I mean, I'm a man for the people, right? I'm a man for the people. So here, let me get Spotify pause. Let me get your redeem started. Let me take a sip. Let me get ready. I don't want to just approach this without the proper preparations, right? This one's out to you, Charm. Yeah. There you are. I'm sure you love that. I'm sure you.
Who is he?
I
Who's a
don't
good
know.
boy?
I don't. Hey! Get out of here! It's not me. Not me. I'm a bad boy. I'm a bad boy. Grr. Grr. I'll bite the hand that comes towards me. Don't you test me. I'll... See these? See those? Those are gonna hurt. Don't test me. But yeah, like I considered... I think I know what exactly the name of the scent I would want to use. And I think I know the scent I'd want it to be. Bagel bathwater was on the list. It's not gonna be. It's not gonna be... It would not be called bagel bathwater. If I got my own scent. Which, Candle, call me. How many people do I have to get to buy candles to get my own scent? Come on, hit me up. Come on, hear me out. Hear me out. I want to work with you guys here. I want my own smell. I will buy my own. I would love to buy my own scent. It would be so funny. It would be so funny. I also want my own, like, I would also love my own energy drink flavor. So hey, Gamer Sups, G Fuel, Ghost, call me. I'm open to ideas. Like I'm not exclusive here. Nobody's claimed me for good. But yes, okay. Where was I? Oh yeah. So hotel is nice. Generally, it's fine. We did get there around noon. Like we got to Japan around noon. Took like a 30-minute drive. Say an hour to get checked in, comfy in the hotel. We're fine. Everything's more or less kind of just like meh. Like, it's nice. I do like Japan so far. Like, it's a fun experience. But we have enough time to actually go out and explore. Now, I'm like, hey, I want to kind of look around the city. Kind of just walk around, kind of visit things. Grandma's like, hey, that's cool. I need to make some business calls. I'm like, all right, fine. I'll go out, just kind of look around. Also, yeah, that one was out for you, Charm. Just for you. So that's what I did, right? I left the hotel, went out, went down the elevator, got out to the ground floor, started looking around. Right away, like I already like feel pretty cozy, feel pretty comfortable because it's just like people walking around. Obviously, there's a lot of tourists. It's a very tourist popular spot, but like I'm just having generally a good time. I feel like a tourist, so I'm just walking through, visiting different shops. I actually managed to find a mall. I found a mall, like a shopping mall, which immediately felt different. Ow. Ow. So I found this shopping mall. So I found this shopping mall. See, it might be near bedtime. You don't gotta lash out like that, cat. It's just you don't have to. It's fine. It's fine. Ow. Ow. No, you don't have to. You could save it. You could save it. Think about banking those points. If you save those points, right? Hear me out. Hear me out. Don't do anything. If you save those points, you could theoretically, you could save and make me buy Taco Bell. That's pretty cool. That's a pretty cool one, right? People love making me spend money. That's like people's favorite thing. If you save your points, you can make me do that. Yeah? Yeah? Exactly. And I will get Baja Blast just for you. Consider. Yeah? Thoughts? Trade deal. Trade opportunity. Oh gods. Oh gods. I should make it. I should start like a new redeem where it's like let's say 1,500 points to add a Baja Blast to my next Taco Bell order, so that the order will have however many individual Baja Blasts. That would be kind of funny. It would be kind of funny. Haha. Haha. Guards executed this man. 7,000. Yeah, 7,000 to get one Baja Blast. Sure, I'll take that deal. 7,000 points to add one Baja Blast to the order. Sure, I like the sound of that. But yeah, so we're walking around. Managed to find a shopping mall. It was nice. It was cool. Admittedly, it was like nothing to write home about. Like it was a shopping mall. I managed to find a couple souvenirs there for some people. It was really interesting because it was more like a department store, I guess. I guess. Typically, whenever you think shopping mall, you think like, okay, big, like almost looks like an airport. Just like a big room with like little like stores that you would go into. Sometimes they have, like, usually they have like doors that close them off from other things. Like it feels like an individual little store inside the mall. Like the mall is just a house for a bunch of stores. Admittedly, I think this would be more of a department store, because while it did have individual stores like a mall, there was like no divider between them. It was just like, okay, this section is like a clothing store, like a separate store that's selling here, but it's clothes. Right next to it, not divided, but right next to it is another store selling like miscellaneous like plushies and like nerd stuff, like toys, geeky stuff, right? Like there was no divider. Good story time. I'm gonna have to watch the rest later. Happy streaming. Yeah, no worries, no worries. That's what the VOD is for, right? Thank you for stopping by, Kat. Thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Thank you for stopping by. Bye-bye. Bye, Kat. So yeah, I end up kind of looking around, find a couple souvenirs here and there, get to one of the floors. The floor, it's really interesting because it's like not stationary, like it's like home goods, I guess, because it had home goods. It had like some pantry food, it had calendars, it had books. Like it was everything except, it was like Walmart except for any of the groceries and any of the tech, right? It was just like the home section. I managed to find like a couple postcards there. I managed to find a gachapon, like the little, it's hard to call them a vending machine, but like you put quarters in, you twist it, and you get a random toy. Found a bunch of those lined up. I don't actually think I got anything from those because I don't think I had enough yen coins to get them. But I looked at them, which was pretty cool. Little department store was cute. I found that they really like fresh orange juice there, apparently. They really like fresh orange juice. Because they have these, like, I think they're called Jooz, Jooz machines, where it is quite literally fresh squeezed orange juice. It is a vending machine that squeezes an orange for orange juice. They had a bunch of those throughout my entire time in Japan, but I saw those in there. It was just like a general, it was fine. Get out to the street. Street is kind of, I mean, it's busy for a tourist spot. Nothing really exciting necessarily. Like there was a crepe stand. There were like some miscellaneous vendors. I don't think I really found too much. The biggest like standout thing in the area, because like obviously while I'm there, I'm looking for things that might interest me, like nerd stores, geeky stuff, anime, right? Whatever, maybe a maid cafe. I'm not saying I went to one, but hypothetically a maid cafe, things like that. Just like experiences I could really enjoy, feel a little bit more familiar with. So I'm looking around. I find one building. Big building. Bright pink building. Lots of lights. Flashy lights. Bah, 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 blinding. And on it is a scrolling display. You know, like the screen displays that have like a bunch of images that scroll along. This big bright pink building. Bunch of lights. Scrolling images. The images are of manga, anime, and video game characters. Like Konami, like no Nintendo. I'm like, what on earth? I think they had like Detective Conan up there. They had like some characters from Cowboy Bebop. I've never seen it. Miscellaneous Anime Girl. Like it's just like a bunch of like just general characters. I'm like, oh, maybe this would actually be interesting. Maybe this is like an anime department store. That would be kind of cool, right? Like a mall or like themed out. That'd be really neat. Nope. It was a pachinko parlor. It was gambling. Needless to say, I did not go in there. Look, I like gambling as much as the next guy. Unfortunately, I get my gambling through buying pieces of cardboard and not that. But man, it looked cool. It looked cool on the outside. It was not really what I was looking for, unfortunately. Eventually, I'm like, okay, I kind of seen everything that this area has. Nothing else really like stands out. Like I walked past like a little, I think there was like a restaurant that had an aquarium out front where you would, I'm assuming, like buy the fish you want to eat and then have them cook it, which is fine. Like I don't really want that. See a bunch of like miscellaneous little shops that sell miscellaneous little snacks, some ramen shops, just like people eating dinner, eating lunch, just getting food. Like, okay, cool, whatever. So I eventually just head right back up to the hotel. Trying to think of what we did. No, I don't think anything else really happened. I chilled in the hotel for a little bit. Eventually, I just, whenever it started to get a little bit darker, I was like, all right, I'm just going to keep looking around. Like, I came here to relax a little bit. Grandma was still in the area. I think, actually, when I got back, she had left to do her own exploring. So then, by the time I was able to leave again, she had just gotten back. I'm like, hey, I'm leaving. She's like, okay, cool. Also, hi, Retro. Hello. I'm just recapping my vacation. We're on day 1. We're on day 1 of my vacation. It's been a little bit. So I'm just kind of chilling. We're just chatting. So yeah, day 1 at the hotel. Head back out. Right, it's getting a little bit darker. It's fine. Like, it's city, so there are enough streetlights where I'll be fine walking around on my own. Like, okay, I'm hungry. I want to get something to eat. I'll find something out. Maybe stop by a restaurant. Maybe sit in somewhere. It's a tourist area, so I'm sure they probably speak English. So I do. I leave. I start looking around. Nowhere's really standing out. There's no, like, a lot of the times, at least for... No, honestly, a lot of the times, just the restaurants in general, especially in the tourist areas, they'll have signs outside that actually have the menu. Because they aren't, admittedly, the menus there aren't as, generally, from what I saw, they aren't as loaded as we have in the US. At least the main dishes that they advertise outside. Where it's like, hey, here's some of the main dishes we have. Like curry or pork. I'm trying to think of the right term. Pork kotatsu, I think it is. Kotatsu. Pork cutlet, I guess would be a better. No, kotatsu is something that's furniture. Gods, that's furniture. Pork cutlet. I don't know where I got. I mean, cutlet, kotatsus, whatever. Pork cutlet. Croquette, things like that. Like they advertise it here and there. Like nothing's really standing out. Nothing really like sticks out as like, hey, I really want to have this. Eventually I'm like, okay, I'm so lost. I really don't want to go in a restaurant in a touristy area filled with tourists on my own, like completely alone and try to figure out how to order something that I don't even know if I want. So I'm like, okay, what can I do to just get quick food? So I'm walking around, and I find it. I find my opportunity. It is literally a hole in the wall. There's like a building with a hole. It is a window, one window, and like a shelf. The shelf on the outside. On that shelf, a bunch of little bento boxes, just like clear plastic containers where you can see the contents. Just a bunch of these bento boxes all lined up outside of the window. The whole concept being you pick one up, you hand it over, you pay, you walk out. I look through these, I'm like, okay, these just look like cheap street food, right? So I pick one up, I'm like, you know what, screw it, I'm hungry. I don't really know how much this is, how many yen, it's like 450 yen. I'm like, okay, I don't really know how much that is, but I have the yen, I'll just buy that, right? I'll just buy that. Like, how bad could that be? I'm hungry. I have a bunch of, it was 550. It's 550. I have a bunch of these. Yeah, okay, I get it. I pressed the number 5 on my keyboard. I have a bunch of these 1,000 yen bills I need to get through. I'll just use that, break it up, get my coins, whatever. So that's what I did. I picked it up. I was like, here, I'll get this. Something, because I really can't understand them. Like, yeah, here, have this 1,000 yen bill. She just takes it. It's like, all right. I think she asks like something. Again, I can't understand her. I'm like, she's like, you want a bag? I'm like, yes, please. It's like 5 yen to get the bag. Sure. Just so I can have someone to actually pack it in. So then I get the bag, I get the food. Arigatou gozaimasu. Grab the food, leave. Head back to the hotel, crack it open. I'm like, oh gods. As I'm walking there, I'm like, oh shoot. I don't have anything to eat this with. I don't have any utensils. The room doesn't have anything to eat this with. Like, the room doesn't have utensils. It's not gonna have chopsticks. It's not gonna have a fork. So I can have a knife. I don't have any utensils. I'll just eat it with my hands, right? Worst case scenario, I'll just eat it like a gremlin. Wash my hands, eat it, wash my hands after, right? It's not comfortable. It's fine. Get to the hotel. Again, tiny hotel room. Little desk, rolling chair, 2 beds. Tiny. Like, okay, I'll just make the most of what I have. So I actually managed to somehow squeeze myself on that desk. Well, not on the desk, like at the desk. Set up my food. I think I ended up actually needing to eat off of like this miscellaneous like drawer they had, because it was too tight with a desk. So that's what I do. I open it up. I take the bento box out, and I see, oh, she actually in the bag she threw chopsticks in. So like, okay, thank God I can actually eat. Crack it open. Start eating. It is delicious. It is delightful. It is a delicious meal. Are you in Japan? No, I'm back in the States. I'm back in the States, but I'm talking about my time in Japan. So story-wise, I'm in Japan. Currently, I'm in the States. Right now, I'm in a cafe. It's all part of the Halloween costume. Like I'm from 2015. I'm a hipster. Rah! You know, it's like the Halloween costume. Yeah. Anyway, so we end up. I'm sitting there eating delicious. It is a delightful meal. It has things, I don't even know what they are in it, right? I don't know what most of these things are. I can't read it. I can't ask the lady what's in there because I don't speak Japanese. She barely speaks English, right? I don't know how to ask what's in here. So I just get it. It looks good. Start eating it. Delightful. Turns out, from what I think I gathered, I think it was a pork cutlet, croquettes over rice with a side of, I think it was like pickled beets probably, and did it have a salad? Hang on, I took a picture of it. Remember, this was 550 yen. 550 yen for like a main piece. I'd say a side, and like a little garnish. I'll just call it what it was, right? It was garnish. The pickled beets are typically like, that's just garnish, right? It's nothing too fancy. Oh, it also had I don't even know what to call it. I think it was like so they had the pork cutlet, they had the croquette. There's also this third item. I think it had meat, but it was also fried. It was all good. It was all delicious. Oh, they had like a few miscellaneous noodles in there as well. Overall, it was fine. Like it was pretty, again, tasted pretty good. 550 yen. 3 items, a pretty generous helping of rice, and like miscellaneous, like, okay, noodles. They had some peas in there, and then pickled, like, whatever. 550 yen. I did the calculations after. Do you know how much I paid in USD for this main dish, 2 side dishes, rice, and then like miscellaneous garnish? For all of that, I paid roughly, before tax, before anything else, $3. $3.60. So pushing $4, I got a very generous meal. Very generous meal. That is something you would not see in the States. $4 might get you a kick in the teeth if you're lucky. You're not going to get a full meal for $4. It was so cheap to get a full, generous, like, I ate it and I'm like, hey, I actually feel like I feel full enough. This was a great, $4. $4. I'm still so shocked at how much good food I got for $4. I'm just like, I don't know. It was great. It was good. It was a nice time. Ate that. Next morning, Grandma wakes up early. I have to wake up with her. We have some time because our ship, like, we're supposed to board that evening. We're boarding that evening. So pretty much throughout the day, we're just kind of futzing around. She's like, okay, in the morning, we're going to go, just up until like noon-ish. Like, when I say evening, it wasn't like 5, it was like 2. I think we boarded at like 2 or 3. She's like, hey, we're going to leave at around noon, so we have time to go through the whole process, get there, and be ready before we need to leave. Like, before we need to leave the city. So she's like, hey, apparently there's a shrine in the area. Let's go visit that in the morning. I'm like, sure. I mean, I'm going to be, like, all over the place with my sleep anyway. Why not? Sleep pretty good, by the way. Slept pretty, like, I had a pretty solid sleep. I was able to, my mom actually got me earplugs. Because my grandmother's snoring is so bad that it actually disturbs sleep. So I ended up getting earplugs that made it, honestly, a fine experience. Slept through the night. Great sleep. Woke up in the morning. She's like, hey, we're going to go visit the shrine. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm down. I'm here to be a tourist, right? I'm here to explore things. So that's what we do. We go and we visit the shrine. Now, I believe I had visited it the day before, just like briefly. I walked by it, or rather, I think she went and got breakfast somewhere. I was like, hey, I'm not very hungry. Like, I just don't need to eat. I had, honestly, a pretty good dinner. She didn't eat anything, and she's old, so she really wanted breakfast. So that morning, I had gone out, and actually, I visited the shrine. She woke up, she's like, hey, we're going to visit the shrine today. I'm like, cool. She's like, I'm going to get breakfast. You can do whatever. I'm like, all right, cool. We'll meet back here in, like, an hour. So I left. I visited the shrine on my own because I knew if I visited with her later in the day, it would be not miserable, but like, I mean, more people are going to be there. It's going to be like around noon. Like, it's going to be busy. I wanted to see what it was like myself. And it was nice to go in the morning. So I did visit the shrine. It was this big shrine. Been around for a very, very long time. Nothing was open. Nothing at the time was open. It was completely empty. There were a few people that walked in, so I was able to kind of watch and see what they did. They did the typical, so in Japan, when you're visiting I think it's specifically Shinto shrines, you come up, you bow twice, toss a coin, clap twice, pray, like make a wish, and then bow again. And I watched people do that, which was kind of cool to see. I saw some like various like shrine attendants, just like restocking the fortune bins. Nothing too fancy. Walked around, just basically got a sight of things. Walked back to the hotel, met up with Grandma. It's like, all right, we're gonna go visit the shrine now. I'm like, sure, why not? I have nothing else I'm doing. I'm here to just chill, have a good time. Go with her. It is later in the day, like it's around noon. Again, I futzed around for a couple hours. So eventually we both go up to the shrine, able to kind of explore a little bit more in depth now that everything's open. Since it's closer to like noon, people are opening up. And so we kind of look around. She's, again, slower. I'm trying to read things. She's just kind of standing there watching people like an old person does. Eventually we leave the shrine, kind of go around it. I had already done the hand washing before I'd even gone in, because I read up on that, like things that you should do at a shrine, like wash your hands, wash your mouth, yada yada, just like things that I already done. She didn't necessarily participate in any of that, but regardless, we did manage to find one of these little fortune tellers. Like this little, it's like a little, think of it as a desk with a bunch of little drawers right on the back of it, like on this wall, back wall of it. On the desk itself, there's this silver shiny cylinder with a character inscribed on it. When I say character, I mean like, I don't know if it's kanji, katakana, or the third one that I can't remember the name of. I don't know what it is. I don't know what is written on there. But there's like something's inscribed on it. It's a big silver thing with a little hole in the top. I read through the instructions that they provide in English. I think it was provide a coin, like pay 100 yen. I think it was like 100 yen. 100 yen in this little slot that's on the desk. I think it's make your wish. Like make a wish, think about it, don't tell anybody, just think about it a lot. Grab the silver canister, shake it, give it a good shake, and then tip it so that a bamboo stick comes out that has a number. Then once you have your number, you go to the drawers that all have these like little numbers inscribed on them, and you take the one that is matching your number. On that little in that drawer is going to be a slip of paper that tells you your fortune. It is like good fortune, bad fortune. If you have a bad fortune, you're supposed to tie it on this rack, and it'll help take care of it. Like, it gets rid of your... I think it just gets rid of your bad fortune. Because, I mean, all of this is doing is it's not giving you that fate. It's telling you what your fate is. And if you do this and tie up your bad fortune, it'll help scrub away the bad luck. Right? That's the idea. So I do mine. Like, I throw it in. I make my wish. I shake it. Tip it out. It's a little tricky to get it out, but eventually I do manage to kind of tip it, get the stick, pull out the number. Cool. Put it back. Set it down. Pull out the drawer. Grab mine. Excellent fortune. It said is like excellent fortune. You're gonna like your thing's gonna come true. You're gonna have like it's gonna be good. They give you a few examples of like, here are some common wishes, and here are the typical responses for those wishes. Like, oh, you will have good health. Oh, you will get good grades. Things like that. Just like common things people wish for, and like the general response for them. Grandma's like, hey, so I'm not. This is another point of like contention, stress. This is a point of stress. As I do this, Grandma comes up. She's like, "Hey, I want to do it too." But I'm just gonna grab the drawer with my birth year. I'm like, no. You can be an annoying tourist, but that does like it feels like it crosses a line whenever you're going through a tradition and you're just completely ignoring all of the steps of it to do your own thing. That is like the most American, annoying, touristy thing you can do. Like, I'm not gonna do this. I don't have the money for it. I don't have the because she didn't have coins for it. I don't have the coins for it. I'm just gonna grab my birth year and then put it back. I'm just gonna take out the paper and then put it back. Like, no. What? Also, we're in ad, so I'm just gonna kind of stall for the next minute and a half while we wait for the ad to resolve. That was like, I don't know. It's not the end of the world. Obviously, this is not, oh no, everything's falling apart. Oh no, this is gonna ruin the whole experience. Obviously not. Like, this is not the, it's a minor thing, but it felt wrong. It just felt so wrong where it's just like, I don't have the yen. I'll just grab it, take it out, because this is my birth year. I'll take it out, I'll look at it, and I'll put it back, and nobody, like, no. You're going around the whole, you're defeating the purpose of it. You're defeating the purpose of your fortune. Like, that's, sure, it's a random piece of paper, so it is still randomized, but you're defeating the point of it. You're not spending 100 yen for a piece of paper. You're spending 100 yen. It's like 150. You're spending money to support the shrine, first of all, and from the perspective of like, here's why you do it, right? Not from a literal perspective. Literally, it's to support the shrine. From the perspective of like the sequence, the ritual, it's as an offering. You're making an offering to get this information. You're not just gonna pick and shoot. It was, I don't know. It felt like an insult to it. It felt like the most annoying touristy thing you could do in that situation. It's like, no, I'll just, you can use mine. I will give you mine. Just do it properly. And so I do. I make the donation for, or like, I give her the coin. She does it. Like, I'm reading out the instructions because I read them out before, but I'll read them out again for you. She makes the insertion. She puts it in. She makes her wish. She shakes it around a good bit. She tries to tip it out. She's like, how do I do this? How do I get it out? I'm like, there's a hole. You just tip it. She's like, yeah, but it's not coming out. I'm like, you just got to, it's a little tricky. You got to tip it out right. Eventually she does. She pulls it all the way out. I pulled mine about halfway out so I could just put it back in immediately. She pulls hers all the way out, looks at it. I'm like, hey, okay, make sure to put it back. She puts it back. She pulls out her drawer. It's like, great fortune. All right, cool. That's taken care of. That's like the exciting event for the day, because eventually we walk around, go to a couple areas, shop around. I don't think I got anything in particular. We just kind of looked around. I actually visited one of the this was, yeah. I was like, hey, so I have all of these coins, and the bills are bigger than my wallet, right? The yen, the Japanese yen, the bills for the Japanese yen are taller, and so width, they're shorter. Height, they are taller than a traditional US dollar. Meaning, My wallet is wider than it needs to be and shorter than it should be. So like, hey, the bills don't fit. And also I don't have anywhere to put coins. Like I have no, because they use coins primarily. I think up to the denomination of 500. And I think it jumps from 500 to 1,000. 1,000 being the starting point for their bills, for their paper currency. I think it's 1. So they have a penny. 1, 5, 10, 50. 50 to 100, 100 to 500, and then 100, 500 to 1,000, and that's where you start the bills at 1,000. So I'm like, hey, I have all these coins. My wallet can't hold these. I can't just have them laying around in my bag. What do I do? So I actually went and I found a little coin purse. Got that. It was like the first touristy thing I bought was a little coin purse for me. I think I visited a gachapon. Right, nothing too fancy. Eventually we managed to we get back to the hotel, get everything packed up. Then we hit the second point of stress. As my grandma had managed to get a taxi scheduled. We got back to the hotel, we got everything packed up. Admittedly, there wasn't a lot, because again, small hotel room. Not a lot of room to take things even out. So we get everything packed up, we start headed out, go to the taxi. No issues with that. She starts trying to go to the wrong taxi initially. That's understandable, there are a lot there. I'm like, hey, that's not the license plate that you said it's supposed to be. She's like, oh, okay. So then we go to the right one. Guys, again, very, very accommodating. He's very welcoming. He's like, here, I'll take your bags. He puts them in the trunk. Like, okay, cool. We start loading up. We get in the car. Now, fun fact about, because this is a taxi. This is like a luxury taxi. It's a nice taxi. Fun fact about Japanese taxis, at least ones like this. They usually have automatic back doors, like the side doors for passengers. Usually they're automatic. You also usually only get in on the left side. Like you only get on the left side. You don't typically get in on the right side. So out of habit, I do aim to go in, like to go sit down. They're like, no, go around. I'm like, okay, oh yeah, of course. So I do. I go around. I get in the car. I'm sitting down, like I'm sitting in the taxi. I'm waiting. Grandma comes in with me. The guy's finishing loading up his stuff. Guy comes back around, sits in, gets in the driver's seat. Like, all right, where are we going? Again, this is fully in Japanese. So he says something. This is where we reach that point of stress I told you about. As similar to the first taxi driver, my grandma has something very specific she wants. She wants to go from the hotel to the pier, to the docks. She wants to go from the hotel to the docks, but she specifically wants to drive through downtown. She doesn't want to take highways. She specifically does not want to take highways. She wants to drive through downtown to see some of the sights before we go to the... Like, she understands that it'll cost more, that it'll take longer, but she's willing to pay. She's willing to use the time to see the sights, right? She just wants to go through the city. Notice how I say she wants to. I honestly don't really care. She wants to go through the city. She wants to do all this. That's fine. Problem is, when she's explaining it, she says we, which is just a small thing. It's a small thing, but I'm like, I really don't care. Personally, I'm like, I just want to get there. I really could not care less. But she's like, hey, we want to do this. We want that. Which means that whenever the driver, who barely speaks English, is being told this really rather complicated route that she wants us to take, he's not understanding it. He sits in the car. He's like trying to get, because the back seat has a screen that like plays ads pretty much the whole time. But big part of this one is it's supposed to have a translator built in, where like you could say, hey, here's what I'm trying to say. It'll go to his screen. He'll see it in Japanese. He can respond. It'll send it over to my screen in English, right? I try that. She tries explaining it to the screen to translate it. He never gets it on his end. Like, it never comes through. Like, okay, that's fine. So then she gets back to old reliable. Translator's not working, so we go back to old reliable. Louder and slower. Like, that's gonna help the man who can't speak the language understand it. This complicated route, by the way. So he's sitting in the car trying to figure out a way to communicate. She's just being loud. She grabs the papers and like brings them through and like points at it. Like it is the most stressful. Like I'm gritting my teeth. Just like, I don't want to be here. I don't want to be here. This is a miserable experience. This sucks. I don't want to do this. Like anywhere but this car. I love Japan. Japan's great. I don't want to be in this car right now. Eventually, the driver gets fed up with it. Understandable. And he goes up to the hotel. Like up to the outside of the hotel. I think he presses an intercom button. Calls up to the hotel. Explains to them. Hey, here's the situation. They send down a translator. Like one of the receptionists. Like the people working the desk. Comes down. And has to translate. Then we reach the second issue of my grandma wanting to see the Imperial Palace. They don't call it the Imperial Palace. That's what we call it. Imperial is not a term that's used over there. So Imperial Palace means nothing to them. She's like, hey, we want to see the Imperial Palace. We want to drive by the Imperial Palace. I'm like, there's such an easier way they aren't understanding it clearly. So I quite literally, I look up Imperial, like just the term Imperial Palace. I look it up in Google, pull up the wiki page, and then just say the term that they give it. It's like the House of Emperor or something like that. Translate it, just that one word. I just say that word in Japanese. I don't remember what it is off the top of my head. I just say that. She's like, oh yeah, of course. Yeah, totally. So then she translates to the guy. The guy's like, okay, cool. He gets in the car. Everything closes up. We leave. Also, yes. No, it's usually just me. Dog lover. It's usually just me. I'm usually the only one talking here. And we're having a later stream. Normally, I'd be done streaming by now. This is a late start stream. Like, I expected it to be kind of just me. But yes, to answer your question, it has just been me talking for a while. Namely because I think Charm and Kat, I think they're both in bed. Retro, I don't know where Retro went. Retro's in the ether somewhere. So yeah, it's generally just me. Yeah, it's a late stream. It's a late stream. It's spooky. Woo. Tomorrow, I'm hoping tomorrow where we just play games will be a little bit more engaging. But this is just gonna be me talking. Which if you end up heading to bed, I wish you a good night. Thank you for stopping by. I do appreciate it. So eventually we do manage to hit the road. We do start driving. The driver does, as we're driving, he tries to use the translating app several times to tell us something. I have no idea. To this day, I have no idea what he was trying to say. Because every time he would hit the translate button, which wouldn't work while he was driving, by the way. He had to be at a stop. So like if we were at a stoplight or something, he tried getting it to work. Would not work. He would like press the button, it would start, and it would stop, and he'd have to try it again. Eventually he just gave up on that. But we did drive through and kind of past the Electric City, which was kind of cool. Like that was neat. I didn't get to experience it. Like all these shopping centers, all this tech kind of center, that would have been very much my thing. I didn't get to experience any of it, but I drove through it, which was kind of cool. We saw the palace in the area, which, I mean, it was neat. And by palace, I mean, we got to see the walls around the palace. So that was cool, I guess. But eventually, driver takes us to the pier, get off. I don't think he heard me, but actually I learned, I say learned. Learned is a strong way to put it. I looked up and then attempted to memorize a specific phrase. Let's see, do I have it saved here? Yeah. Soba ga sumimasen. Soba ga sumimasen. So that's literally just sorry for my grandmother. I memorized that and I hit him with it. I don't think he understood me because if I say the way she treated him, that feels a lot more aggressive than it was. She didn't like mistreat the guy, but she wasn't the most respectful. I don't think he understood me, but I did try to apologize. I thanked him once we all got out and he drove off. So then we get to we get to the pier, go through. It's admittedly, it's a fine check-in process. Like, we just kind of went in, checked our bags in where they would just load them onto the boat, and then sat down, got called in, went through the check-in process. It was fine. It was whatever. Basically, they had like a minor TSA. Nothing, obviously nothing as intense as actual TSA. Did it not update the stream information? Hang on, did it not update the stream information? Did it never update the fact that we were in just chatting? Has it been stuck in a game that I'm not playing this whole time? Good God, it was, wasn't it? It never updated. Even though I updated it, it never updated. Why did nobody tell me? Nobody told me. Now the stream's gonna be porked. Now the entire stream information's porked. Dag nabbit. Nobody told me. Nobody communicated this with me. Dag nabbit. But I guess that means nobody really reads the stream information anyway. But regardless. Go through check-in process. It was fine. It was whatever. Get on the boat. Everything's chill. They have like a going away ceremony. Or like a departure ceremony. Which I get a little taste of something. Because like as part of it, I guess it's Japanese tradition, I suppose. For like the christening of a boat. Normally, at least as far as I was told, in the US, it's something like you would break open a bottle of champagne or like pass out a bottle of champagne, and that would be the whole thing. Apparently in Japan, it's like the breaking of the barrel. Like they have a barrel that they break open and then you drink soju. No, not soju. No. Not soju, that's Korean. It was you drink is it soju? No, it's not soju. You drink sake. You drink sake. So I got a little taste of sake. Man, it wasn't good. Sake is pretty bad. It was just tasted like rubbing alcohol. It might have been cheap, right? It might have just been cheap sake. I can't say I really had much of an experience drinking it before. That one was not pleasant. Just not great. But I got a taste of it, which is cool. I like experiencing new things. I didn't really feel anything off of it, so it might have just been cheap. Maybe it was just a small amount. Regardless, it was there. So we went through that. The first night was, I mean, it was a night. So we left, got on the boat left. It was whatever. We got hit with a little something that night. It was an announcement. It was an announcement on the boat saying, hey, because of the typhoons in the area, we're going to completely change our route. Our entire planned route, we're going to change that up. We're going to mix it up. We're going to not go to these specified ports. Instead, we're going to figure out what we're going to do. We don't really know what's going to happen. We're just going to not go to these ports because of the typhoon. Which, honestly, fair. I'd rather not be sucked up in a typhoon. I'd rather be not in a typhoon than... and not in a typhoon and missing ports than in a typhoon and going to those ports and probably not being able to do anything because of, you guessed it, typhoon. So, admittedly, I'm not too broken up over it. So, we went through that process. Got the intercom. It was like, okay, cool. Now we have to figure out what we're going to do for excursions because those excursions just got completely canceled. Those ports got completely canceled. Admittedly, I'm not too heartbroken over it because I think one or two of them... No, one of them I didn't have anything planned for. I was going to visit an aquarium, actually. I was going to get like a taxi or an Uber, and I was just going to visit an aquarium nearby the port, which I was kind of excited for. I like aquariums. Did not happen. Did not get to go to an aquarium, which sucks. I really want to go to an aquarium, man. I don't actually know the last time I got to visit an aquarium, and I kind of miss it. I kind of miss going to aquariums. Where is this? Where even California? I don't want to go to California. I want to go to an aquarium. That's the end of the thought. I just want to visit an aquarium. I have no other thoughts about that. That's just like I just want to do that. And I didn't get to. I didn't get to visit one because it was just canceled. But it's fine. Like, ultimately, I'll get by. It's not the end of the world. So I go through. We stay the night, right? Obviously, we're on the boat. Sleep. Wake up the next morning. Sea day. Because normally we would be visiting a port. Unfortunately, got canceled, so we are actually just out on the water, open water. So it was actually an opportunity to explore the boat, kind of look around, just do some poking around, just have like explore, right? Take some time to take in the place I'm gonna be for the next like 9 days, right? It was a good opportunity. I can't complain too much, especially since it was the day after we got on, so I actually had a day to look around. Nothing too exciting. I think the most interesting thing that happened was there was like a reveal for watches. Like, oh man, we're getting new watches on the boat. These pre-owned, expensive name brand watches. Cool, I guess. I really don't care. But we got invited in for I think it was like a raffle. Sure, my grandma came with me. They offered, they called it champagne. It was just sparkling wine, so it was just like cheap champagne. First time trying that too. I still have never had actual champagne. That one was whatever. I mean, it was just like wine, but a little fizzy. Like, it was, if you don't like wine, you're not gonna like champagne, or you're not gonna like sparkling wine. And wine is, in my opinion, it's okay. Like, I don't really feel like a draw to it. It's just kind of there. So, didn't win a free luxury watch. Otherwise, I would have sold it immediately. So, unfortunate, but it is what it is. All in all, day 2, right? Yeah, I would say day 1 is boarding. Day 2, where we actually like on the sea. Not too exciting. Just kind of like, it was a boat day, right? It is pretty much what you expect. Nothing necessarily to write home about. Just kind of looking around, spending some time. Just kind of taking in the spot I'm at. So we go through that. End up actually at a port the next day. Sorry, I'm looking through my pictures to see if I can figure out where that. Not necessarily even where, but just like if I have any idea of what I did that day. Because I think this one was. Pictures getting there. I found. Is this where I visited a garden? Did I visit a shrine here? I'm trying to think if this was the shrine that I visited or not. I'm probably honestly it's probably a shrine. Most of the time it's just shrines. Yeah, watch me do it for 4. Most of the things we saw were shrines. I do believe this was a shrine that we visited. Yeah, so it must have been an excursion that specifically just took us to a nearby shrine. So that's exactly what it was. It was just like there was like a cute little garden next to it, a bunch of statues. Again, nothing like life-changing, but cool to see. I was able to stroll through some of the miscellaneous things. Let's see, where was this? Was this the first? I don't think this was the first one. I guess we visited a shrine. We went up on top of a... Yeah, the excursion we had took us up a mountain. To like a little observatory lookout that would see that could look at the city. Because that's exactly what it was. It was just like a little spot where you could actually look out, see the city, see like from a nice vantage point. It was pretty. Like it was a pretty view. It was nice. Very like it was nice to see everything in comparison to where I was. Because like you could see everything was just like crowded. It was cluttered. You see the mountains behind everything. It was pretty. I did like it. I think this was, if you're in Asakusa, this must have been Hakata. I think it was, because I think Hakodate was the second port that we went to. So I think it must have been Hakata, where we just went in. It was an observatory, great view. They had vending machines there, and I was like, hey, you know what? I'm a little thirsty. So I actually went up, and I noticed something different, something a little bizarre, something that stood out. A drink, not just any drink, a drink that the packaging looked like corn cob. It looked like a corn cob, like it was the green around the bottom, the yellow corn kernels all along it, around it. I was like, that looks funky as hell. I'm gonna drink it. So I did. I went to the vending machine, popped in the coins, pressed the button, ka-shunk, rolls out. As soon as I pick up the can, I notice something. This isn't just a drink. This is a warm drink. This is a warm drink that looks like an ear of corn. Like, okay, interesting start. Second note, the can itself, like, not the package, like, not like the wrap around it. The can itself is ribbed. Like, there are indentations to make it feel like you're holding corn, which was weird. Again, weird choice. So this warm can that is this warm, bumpy can that looks like corn is already an interesting start. It gets further weird when I crack it open and I sniff it. I give it a smell because, like, obviously, before you drink something, you want to see what it actually smells like, and it just smells like corn. Shocker! It smells like corn. I take a sip, and honestly, it was like you cracked open a can of corn, and you drank it, and it was warm. It was just warm corn juice. I drank corn water. It's like if you went and bought a can of corn for, like, Thanksgiving, and you cracked it open, and you drank it. Instead of just filtering out that, you just drank it. It was just that. It was just the juice in a can of corn. And it was warm. The weird part, as if this wasn't weird enough, as I'm drinking, I noticed something tickle my lips. Something's like, just tickle my lips. I'm like, oh gods, what is that? I chew. There are bits of corn in there. Like, just whole kernels of corn. It was literally a can of corn. Like, just a can of, like, canned corn. And it was fine. Like, I'm not gonna say it was delicious. If you like corn, you'll like the can. You'll like the drink. But it was just a warm corn juice. Honestly, I don't know what I expected. But it wasn't that. I kind of expected, like, corn soda or something funky. That was just somehow weirder. It was somehow exactly what I expected and also weirder. I don't know. But overall, like, that was the most exciting thing, I believe. Obviously, the view was very pretty. I got a few good pictures. We went from that, like, top floor of the observatory. I actually took, like, a few steps down, and I found a gift shop. I found a little gift shop. At the gift shop, they apparently really like corn. But the biggest thing was there was a little shop. Also, hi Retro, hello. There's a little stand, I suppose. It was inside the observatory, but it was a little stand. There was a little stand that actually had ice cream. And oh my goodness, that it was probably the single best cone of chocolate ice cream I have ever had in my life. It was so good. It was rich. It was like actual chocolate, like real chocolate. It wasn't that cheap, like, oh yeah, this is chocolate flavor vanilla ice cream that vanilla soft serve you get in the States, right? You go to any, like, restaurant, like any place that has soft serve, and it tastes pretty much the exact same. It is the same, like, cheap, quote unquote, chocolate flavored soft serve. Not actual chocolate, just chocolate flavored. And it was, like, they're fine, but it's like, why would I spend extra money to get something that tastes the exact same as everywhere else? This was real, like, it tasted like real chocolate. It was, again, soft serve, but it was different. It was so good. It was delightful. And I'm honestly heartbroken I'm not going to get to have it again. Probably one of my favorite souvenirs was that ice cream. God dang, it was delicious. When we get back, I can't remember anything specific that happened that night on the boat itself, but that was pretty much the most eventful, right? We went to the observatory, went through the observatory, got back to the boat. Cool, whatever. Didn't bring me with you. I'm sorry. You should. Okay, this is just throwing me off more than anything. You should have planned it a year in advance. Come on, man. If you wanted to come with me, you should have joined me on my plans a year ago. Because again, I've been planning this for a little bit over a year actually, because I I didn't plan for it last October. I planned for it a little bit before last October. So it's been about a year plus in the making. The day after that, I think was another boat day. Because again, plans got changed around. It was supposed to be a different port. But they added an extra boat day instead. So I think it was supposed to be port, boat, port. But now it was, I think now it was boat, port, boat, boat. And then like a couple extra things. Like it was an extra day or two of just being on the boat. So this day not a lot happened. We just kind of looked around. Again, I think I just ended up staying in the room most of the time. I watched a lot of movies. Any time that I would have like on the boat where there was nothing to really do, my grandma would be out probably like sitting on the deck or going and visiting, like talking with people or going to this whatever. I'm not all about that. It's just not my personality to do that kind of thing. I think I took an introductory course on Japanese phrases, even though I had already studied most of, if not all of the phrases they went through. The most informative thing I learned was how to count in Japanese. I could go from 1 to 6 reliably, but now I feel more comfortable. I can actually get to 10. And now I can tell how to count numbers beyond just like to 10. Like I didn't know how to go beyond that initially. Now I know it's literally 10, 1. 11. That's 10, 1. It's 11. And now I can go to like, I think I could get up to 99 theoretically, which would be what? 99. 9, 10, 9. So 9 tens and 9. So 99. Is it hyaku? Hyaku? I think that's 100. Also, we have an ad for another minute and a half, so I'm just stalling for that minute and a half. But essentially, it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Right? That's 1 through 10. I think re is 0. But like 1 through 10, cool, whatever. If you know 1 through 10, you can get up to 99, which honestly that's pretty good. Drawback is money is like in the hundreds or the thousands, so didn't help a lot. But I could count, which was cool. That's pretty much the most thing I learned from that little course was how to count. I already had my own list. Most of the things they went over were either on the list or honestly just not as important to know. But it was supposed to be introductory Japanese anyway, so I wasn't too surprised. Most of the things that they covered were things I had already read about. Things like the biggest one, honestly, in my opinion, there are two. If you want to go to Japan or you want to speak simple Japanese, there are two very like golden phrases. There are two simple words that you should know to actually just like get by. The two easiest phrases are sumimasen, which is quite literally a catch-all golden of either a very soft sorry. Usually it's like excuse me. Like it's seen as like excuse me, pardon me. Like if you're trying to get someone's attention, sumimasen. If you're trying to like if you're just scooting by someone, sumimasen, sumimasen. Like it's just like it is a very, very helpful one to know. Another good one, at least from what I've seen, is daijoubu. It's just like you're good, no worries. So if someone like apologizes, gomen nasai, gomen, daijoubu. Or daijoubu desu. It was just like you're good, it's good, you're good. Like generally things like that. They had most of those already taken care of. But I already had my notes. I was like, okay, cool. After like the initial quote unquote class, I went up to the teacher and I was like, hey, are these good? Do you have anything like I should add to this list? And he's like, no, you're pretty good. You're all right. I think I had an umai on the list. He's like, he got a chuckle out of that. As I wanted to find polite things that I could say. Oishi is a more polite way of saying like, oh, this is delicious. Umai is like, oh, yummy. It's like, oh, yum. Oishi is like, that is delightful. Umai is, yummy in my tummy. Like it's you get the idea, but it's not as like formal or polite. Little things like that. I already had them listed out, and he's like, yeah, no, that's a good list. I think it's about the most exciting thing that happened that day. Like really not much not much happened. The next day was, I think it was Hakodate. Let's see. Kyushu. Is that, where's Kyushu? Did I just skip a port entirely? I guess I just didn't have pictures of it. This might have just been a different port entirely. Honestly, if nothing happened, if I didn't have any... Yeah, this is Fukuoka. So it must have been a different port. Oh, well. Unless... Kyushu... Jatsushiro, Uki, Hikawa... Komodo... Where's the pin that it just had? Kyushu... Hakodate. Oh, that was the picture. So the picture I had was actually Hakodate, because actually, funnily enough, the first image that shows up for Hakodate is the exact image I managed to actually have a picture of. That's wild. That's wild. The picture image of it's the same view. It's the exact same view. So that must have been Hakodate. Cool. Well, that's good to know. I guess I didn't have anything for Hakata. But honestly, if I had nothing for Hakata, then nothing must have really happened. It must have been like very quiet. It might have just been that shrine. Hakata might have been the shrine. Hakodate might have just been the observatory. Regardless, we then went to Kyushu. And I visited the Kyushu National Museum, which admittedly was really cool. It's been a while since I was able to actually visit a museum. We didn't have a lot of time. It was like 45 minutes in the museum, which was admittedly pretty disappointing because it's a big museum. It's a very big museum. They have a lot of cultural stuff, a lot of things to read up on and kind of observe. And 45 minutes is just not nearly enough time to go through it all. I was able to get through a decent chunk, but I was not able to go through everything. But the big thing that the museum focused on was like international relations throughout a lot of like the history of Japan across it with other obviously countries. So there was a lot on the trade between Japan and India. There's a lot on the trade between Japan and China, and a lot of the things that they actually had imported in. So you saw a lot of porcelain, you saw a lot of textiles, a lot of cloth. You got to see how I think they're just like silver mirrors. There's a whole display dedicated to silver mirrors that were inspired and brought in from like China. It was very informative, very cool. They had some clay, like a whole display dedicated to clay sculptures and just like rock sculptures in general. What's the term for that? Monoliths. Term for stone statues. Stela? I guess? No, stones. A stela sounds too... Regardless. Yeah, monolith, mausoleum is not the same. Gargoyle, grotesque. Bunch of, like, clay sculptures, I guess. A lot of those are whole display. It was very informative. A lot of, like, you see, like, the weapons and, like, ways that they adapted. It was really, really cool. I actually really liked it. I really liked it. Again, a little disappointing I wasn't able to explore it more and kind of go in depth with it. But it was a fun time nonetheless. Trying to think if this was a different... Kyushu... Is Kyushu popular for plums? Umeshu... Kyushu region is popular for plum blossoms. 6,000 plum trees. Fukuoka. Yeah. Sugawara. Defied scholar of learning, poetry, and calligraphy. And the famous of its 6,000 plum trees. We did visit a shrine that was famous for 6,000 plum trees. A very popular spot for, yeah, so it was Fukuoka. I think we went from Kyushu. Kyushu was in Fukuoka, right? Fukuoka. right? Or was this a different port? I honestly don't remember. Fukuoka directions to Kyushu. Yeah, so this was a different port entirely because we did not travel 2 hours to get there. So we actually, the next day, we went from Kyushu to Fukuoka. We visited, I think this was again a shrine day. We saw a lot of shrines. Shocker, a lot of shrines. Where we actually went up and visited this big shrine, which was apparently like this hot spot for some ancient scholar who allegedly loved plum trees. So much so that I think from his hometown in Kyoto, a plum tree had uprooted itself from his home and flew through the sky and planted itself outside of like in Fukuoka to be with its master. And as part of like the big love for plum trees and like the legends around their plum trees, they actually have plum sake. That I did buy a bottle of plum sake. I have not tried it yet. I'm kind of waiting for one of my days off to actually be able to imbibe a little bit. But they had that. It was cool. It was a pretty shrine. Like it was neat to see. One of the main like rooms, one of the big parts of it was this big it was like almost like a stage with a bunch of plants growing on top. It was like the roof of this stage had a bunch of like trees and grass. It was actually really pretty. Saw some really old trees around the area. Went and did a little bit of shopping, right? Because this was like a bus tour, I guess, if you want to call it. It wasn't really a bus tour, but it was like a shuttle, I guess. An excursion that took us to the shrine and then left us on our own to shop around a little bit. So I did. I don't think I really got much while I was there. Oh, I say that. I lie. I did find a little ice cream shop. I wanted to get just like a little soft serve, just a little something. Just a little treat, sue me. I wanted to try and get like a strawberry lemonade, but I think they were out. So instead I ended up getting this ice cream. It was fine. It was literally just soft serve with like a little dollop of strawberry puree. It was fine. I mean, it was soft serve. So I mean, if you like vanilla soft serve, you like it, and it had a little puree of strawberries. So it was fine. I got a peach drink because I was still thirsty. I actually managed to find a it was basically just a little grocery store, like a tiny grocery store. Went up to their cooler, grabbed something that looked funky because like I like trying new things, especially when I'm in new places. I like trying new things. So I always try to look for like the weird stuff I want to try. And they had a soda. It was just labeled like peach soda. In fact, I have a picture of it. It was labeled, yeah. It just said soda. The bottle just says soda on it, and it has a picture of a peach. So I'm like, oh, it's probably peach soda. So I bought it. It was stupid cheap. It was like 120 yen. Took it out. Started drinking it, and it was exactly what I thought. It was peach soda. It was a soda, but tasted like a peach. It was fine. I mean, if you like peaches, you like peach soda. Pretty much what you'd expect. No surprises there. Again, no real surprises. The biggest thing for me at this little shopping area was a little shop called the Acorn Forest. Now, the Acorn Forest isn't just any store. No, it is a themed store. It sells one type of thing, and that's it. It sold Studio Ghibli merch. Now, I don't talk about it a lot here. I don't think it just comes up very often. I love Studio Ghibli. Now, I know I'm not alone in that. It's not an uncommon opinion. I love Studio Ghibli. The art is always so pretty. The English dubs are actually really well done. The stories they tell are beautiful. Like, I love Studio Ghibli. I love Studio Ghibli. And my favorite is Kiki's Delivery Service. I'm a sucker for worlds that kind of bring magic into a modern setting. And that's exactly what Kiki's Delivery Service does. It is quite literally a witch magic in the quote-unquote modern world. Like 90s modern, right? 80s, 90s modern. Not only is that like the vibe I love, it looks beautiful. It tells such a cute story. Like I love Kiki's Delivery Service. It is my favorite. I love that and Castle in the Sky. Those are my top two. I would say Castle in the Sky might edge out a little bit, just because I think Castle in the Sky is such a beautiful film. Regardless, I like Studio Ghibli. And lo and behold, they have a lot of merch. They have a lot of merch for Studio Ghibli, which sucks because I don't have a lot of luggage space. I don't have a lot of space to pack a lot of things. I'm also on I'm on a limited budget. I don't have a ton of money that I can put towards this. So as sad as it is, I wasn't able to get a ton, but I got a few trinkets here and there. I got a little poster for a friend, as like a little souvenir. I got myself, I think I got like a couple pins. I got a mystery button and a mystery pin. One of them was guaranteed to be Kiki's Delivery Service, because, I mean, why not? And I think I ended up getting a keychain. I say keychain, literally like it's not even a lanyard, like a half lanyard, like a small loop, like a little faux leather loop with a charm on it that you put your keys on, like a key ring, I guess. That, and then like the buttons, that was kind of it for me. Nothing too fancy. And the poster for a friend, like, again, nothing like outstanding, just a couple like things here and there. So I got all that, headed out, went to the bus, got back. Honestly, loved that. I wish I could go back. That was such a, like, it was such a cute store. It was small. It was crowded. This was a touristy spot. It was right outside of the shrine, so of course it's gonna be touristy. So admittedly, it was crowded. It was a little cramped, but man, it was so cute, and I would love to go back. They had like, I say China, like fancy dishware with Ghibli characters. Like they had like leaf print designs, like, you know, whenever you have like the trim around the plate, there's like all leaves and vines and whatnot. They had like that, but they had like soot spirits hidden in there, like my neighbor Totoro, just like little miscellaneous things. They had a mug, like a milk glass mug. If you know what milk glass is, good. If you don't, it's like glass but milky. That had the scarecrow from Howl's Moving Castle on it. Like, it was just such a cute store. It was such a cute store. And it's so sad I'm not gonna be able to go to something like that. Like, it was so nice. It was so nice. The next stop we had, I think we had a boat day. Again, nothing really happened. It was a boat day. Next day we had was actually in a different country. We went from Japan to Busan, which is in South Korea. Went through customs there. I mean, it was pretty much, again, what you would expect. Nothing really happened through customs. We just went through Busan. This was, once again, a shrine tour. This was to a Buddhist shrine, actually. So instead of it being Shinto, it was to a Buddhist shrine. I think it would either be a shrine or a temple. I don't remember the exact terminology. But it was to something dedicated to Buddha. With a very, like... The big thing for this spot was what do they call it? It was like 108 bows. Where apparently, it was a tradition where people visiting this shrine, temple, whatever, visiting this spot, would bow to whatever it is 108 times. I think it was to... I can't remember if it was to, like, get rid of bad luck, or if it was to... grant a wish. I think it was like, if you're having a bad year, you do this, and you should have a good year. Like, it was a luck-based thing. So you'd go up, you do like basically burpees, right? You would go down full, like, on your knees, head to the ground, bow, get up, fully stand up, and then do it again 108 times. Problem was, doing this took like hours. Like, this would take hours to do. So they found a way to circumvent it, where essentially, instead of doing that, you can actually go up these 108 steps. 108 steps that go up around the side of the mountain, and you will have done it. It will count. So that's cool. We go in, we go to the shrine, kind of look around. The guide's like, all right, we're gonna meet back up at the tower at. Like, okay, cool. I'll go through the steps, and I'll meet them there. Because, like, it's worth mentioning, I was probably one of, you could count the number of people below the age of 50. Below the age of 40. I'll be generous. Say below the age of 40. You can count the number of people below that age that weren't children on 2 hands. On a full cruise. I was not among my people, right? I am youthful. They were not. So admittedly, not a lot of people took the stairs, right? We get out on this excursion. Not a lot of people take the stairs because I mean it's a fun experience and you can say you did it, but it's not like it's like not doing it is gonna change your life, right? You're gonna miss out on this huge opportunity. So a lot of them just didn't do it. I, however, am young. I'm spry. I got strong legs, and I was like, you know what? Screw it. I want to experience this. I went across this like rather precarious bridge. Got a nice view, very pretty view. I think I took a picture of the view because it was admittedly it was very pretty. Yeah, it was a very pretty view. Went up this went up over this bridge, went up, took all 108 steps. My calves hurt after that. I was out of breath, calves hurt. I didn't take a rest on the stairs, but as soon as I got up, I was just like, all right, I'm gonna chill here for a little bit. At the top of the stairs is this big tower that was supposed to be dedicated to actually like, I think it was dedicated to drivers or like provides luck or good fortune to drivers, which is kind of cool. Like people who drive cars, not the thing that drives your computer. Which was, I mean, it was neat. Like it was sure that's cool. I could have sworn she said, "Oh, we're gonna meet back up at the tower." Nobody was there, and I'm like, okay, am I missing something? Am I like not? Was I not supposed to do that? Oops. Because I didn't want to miss out on the tour. Like I like learning little tidbits and little neat facts about the area. So I went back down. I actually went back through the... I think I took the stairs back down. So that, again, 108 steps up, 108 steps down. Whatever. Go back to the area. No clue. I cannot see the tour guide anywhere. She is gone. She's disappeared. Like, okay. That's fine. I don't know. I don't really know what to do. Because I've noticed this. If you're traveling, you can travel on your own, but you bet your sweet Bippy you better be going to places where you can do a lot. Because I had no idea what to do. I was alone. I'm not the kind of person that takes pictures every 8 steps. My grandma was. So I wasn't burning time by just like taking picture. I was not burning my time doing that. Rather, I was like taking the site, maybe taking a picture here or there, and then moving on to the next thing. Right? I would enjoy it. I would appreciate it. Take some time to really take it in. But whenever you're there for like an hour plus, that gets it gets pretty stale. So I'm like, dear God, where's the tour guide? I look around. I try to find her. Can't find her. Eventually, I take the slope back up. I don't take the stairs. I take the slope back up. Look around a little bit. Still can't find her. Head back to that main area. See her actually guiding other people in the group around through the crowd and pointing out the stairs how, like, you can take them. Now, I don't approach her. And it turns out she was just going to let us roam around. Which is fine, because boy, howdy did I have the time to do that. Because, again, I don't have anybody I'm really with. My grandma, I have no idea where she went. I genuinely have no clue where she went. I don't know where she roamed off to. Gone. I took the stairs, never saw her again. So, like, I'm kind of bored. It was pretty. Again, it was a nice view. It was cool. But I don't have anybody to, like, vamp with. I don't have anybody to talk to or, like, have banter with. It's just me. And I can't text anybody because everybody's asleep. It's 13 hours ahead of the East Coast. I have nobody to text. So, like, I can't talk with anybody. I can't do anything. So I just kind of end up roaming around. I managed to go back up because we were supposed to... Basically, we parked at a little parking lot. We walked down through a little shopping district. Again, this is in Busan. We walked through a little shopping district right in front of the shrine. Right before the shrine. Got to the shrine, looked around, took the stairs, yada yada. So I just kind of ended up slowly taking my way back up through through the shopping area. Just kind of looking around, poking in shops here and there, really trying to kill time. Nothing honestly really stood out to me. It was all kind of meh. Like, it was cheap touristy stuff. They had a lot of... Like, they had a lot of, which kind of took me out, not off guard, but it was kind of surprising. But they had a lot of K-pop Demon Hunter merch. And when I say merch, I use that as like a very... I stretch the word. Merch is a strong word. It was more of knockoff goods that had like the cat and the bird. And that was kind of it. It was like a cheap replica tiger and a cheap replica bird. And that was it. That was everything. I'm like, cool. I don't really want these. I was looking for something for somebody else, like somebody. I have a friend who really likes K-pop Demon Hunters. Like, that would be a decent gift, right? That sounds like it would be a good gift. None of them were worth it. I'm like, I'm not gonna get them this. This is cheap. I'm not doing that. So eventually, I managed to kill enough time shopping around. I don't think I bought anything there. I thought about buying food. I really did. I considered it, but ultimately, I just wasn't. I think part of the tour was a buffet. Like part of the tour was they would take us to a buffet for lunch. So I was like, I don't really need to eat anything. I'm gonna eat quite a bit of food for lunch. So we packed up, hit the bus, went over. I think that was the next stop. The next stop was it was lunch, and lunch was fine. I mean, it was weird. It was a buffet at the top of a mall, or like a department store. It was at the top of a department store. Basically, you went in, you crammed everybody in the tour in an elevator. You went up a few floors, and you got out, and it was just a full buffet. And I mean, it was fine. I mean, for a buffet, it was fine. Buffets are always, like, you're not really getting quality food at a buffet. But it was the first buffet that had a massive line of, like, they had mostly, like, American sushi, like California rolls. Not a lot of, like, authentic sushi, but they had some authentic sushi. Mostly it was, like, California rolls, bibimbap, kimbap, things like that. Nothing really, like, outstanding. I think the most exciting thing I had there was mystery. Honestly, I don't even know what it was. It was like a mystery. I tried some funky California rolls and like bibimbap. But nothing. It was a buffet, right? It was fine. This was a big day. This was a very busy day. A lot actually happened. So we went to the buffet. We went to the various different places. Sorry, I'm trying to be a nice friend and actually respond to somebody who's texting me. I figured I might as well just not ignore. I might not ignore them. So we went to the buffet. I'm trying to think of what else happened. Oh, we visited apparently there was like an international summit of world leaders that visited this area. It was like some event that happens in 2005. And so they had this specific center built for that meeting that was used that once, and I don't think it was ever used again. So we got to visit that. That was kind of cool. Like, world leaders sat in that building. They sat in that very chair. I think Ronald Reagan sat in that very chair, which is cool. I guess. Who was president in 2005? U.S. president 2005. Bush. George W. Bush. George W. Bush. Mr. Bush sat in that very chair. Like, that was neat. I found little floor stickers with bisexual colors. That was cool. Yeah, it was literally just a walking trail. It was a walking trail from that, went around, and then we went back to the starting point. It was cool. Like, it was fine. Like, I didn't hate it. Oh, I think this was the very last stop. No, there were two. I'll say there were three other stops. Three last stops for Busan. This is a busy day. Very busy day. The last stops were, let's see. So it started with need to check the pictures again. It started with it was shopping. We went somewhere specifically for shopping. It was quite literally just a it was a, I think they called it duty-free store. It was tax-free. Basically, there was no tax. So I had a bunch of miscellaneous things. I did find a, I think it's just called Magpie, the bird from K-pop Demon Hunters. I found like a much better quality Magpie there that I did end up getting. I can't think, I got like a couple other miscellaneous K-pop Demon Hunter merch things around there. There was apparently like a big observatory that wasn't included in the tour, so I didn't buy it. But there was a big observatory, meaning they had like a gift shop and like a little like cafe stand outside. I visited the gift shop because they had Pokemon inside. It's the weirdest thing. The Pokemon plushes were fuzzy. Like they weren't the same like smooth texture we're used to. Their Pikachu was like fuzzy Pikachu, which was so weird. I didn't get any Pokemon, but that's what caught my eye. Looked around a little bit. I found a cute postcard. And then I actually managed to find a coin for my roommate, like a little medallion. They're really big on like the Zodiac, like the, I guess I'll call it North American Zodiac, like North American Zodiac. So I found a coin that was their Zodiac and got it for them as like a little gift. Pretty cool stuff, actually. I mean, it was neat. Nothing else really happened. I think the area we were at was setting up for an event. We had like 45 minutes there. I'm not gonna shop, like the duty-free store had like miscellaneous cosmetics and clothes. I don't really buy either of those things, so I really didn't need to shop around there a lot. So I got to walk around a bit, kind of visit the little park that was next to it. But it seemed like they were setting up for an event that would be later that day or later that week. Also, we got another minute and a half long ad. So we're just gonna we're gonna mill around a little bit. We're gonna pause our story. As everybody's at the edge of their seat, I can tell. Everybody's hankering for more. Everybody's just itching to get their fix. Itching for a fixin', if you will. I can tell. I know these things. I feel these things. I know what the people want. I know what the people need. And I'm here to provide. Naturally. Dang. Who on earth reposted this? Who? Or they didn't even repost it. They liked it. What? What? This is the most, like, I can't read this. I don't know what it means. I mean, their name is entirely, it looks like Japanese. Their name is entirely Japanese. So I really don't know what it is, but illustration, oh, this is translated from Japanese, yeah. Pro illustration by so-and-so. Scribble Monster, rank 824, Beast God Orbs 11, I'm assuming these are two different things. 11,520, 3,830 days logged in. Azure Lane joined in 6/29/2018. Commander level 157, 431 married ships. 6/6/2022, Yukikaze-sama achieved vertical single-page marriage with 150 ships. Blue Archive joined on 1/24/2023. Teacher level 90, no mutuals. What? What does that mean? I think I just had a stroke. Gods. Okay. Regardless. So we went to, we went to the duty-free store, shopped around a little bit. I admittedly got on the bus early because I was like, I really don't have anything to do for the last, like, 15 minutes. I'm so out of it. A lot of the older women came on with cosmetics. I can tell you that. They were really into the idea of South Korean cosmetics stuff. I'm like, that's cool. I don't know if I'd believe it. Snail mucus is cool and all. I don't know if I'd believe snail mucus is going to help your skin tighten, but to each their own, right? If it makes you feel happy and it's not hurting you, go for it, right? It doesn't kill me. Right after that, we actually went to something called like a fish market. The big thing for the fish market, I didn't take many pictures. My Grandma wanted me to take pictures, but I was not a fan. Because it was, as the name implies, a market of fish. Shocker, I know. It was a ton, like hundreds of glass tanks, small glass tanks, with like each one being overcrowded with fish of various types. There were sea urchins in some. There were sea cucumbers here and there. There were shrimp in a couple of them, just crowded in there. There were flounder, carp, eels. Oh God, it's the eels. It all felt so unethical. I did not look. I love meat as much as the next man, right? I'm a meat eater. I'm omnivorous for a reason. I'll eat just about anything. I do not really mind meat much, but something about like the condition of everything crowded in a single tank felt, I don't know. I'm sure I would feel similar if I went to like a Tyson chicken factory, but I haven't, so I don't. But like going and seeing it was just like, I don't know. I did not like that. I was not a fan. I was not a fan. It felt, I don't know. I didn't like it, but I did take some pictures of shrimp because I think shrimp are funny. But as soon as we left that, kind of walked through there, smelled awful, by the way, walked through there, left. We actually just walked to another separate area for another shopping trip. It was shopping, fish shopping, right? It was just a lot of money to be spent. I did spend a good bit of cash here, as I had managed to actually text a friend who I hadn't talked with for a hot second, and I was like, "Hey, do you just want something?" And like, "Yeah, sure. What do you want?" This anime guy. And then we had talked about... You didn't hear anything. We talked about Studio Ghibli a bit before. So I was like, I'll just get some of the Studio Ghibli. And I'll just get some for this anime guy. Sure, whatever. Gods! I'm hungry. You ever get that? You ever get the hunger hiccups? It's like I haven't eaten or drank anything. I think it's just my tummy being like, man, I should eat. I'm hungry. Feed me. I hate myself. I am chronically depressed. Every day, I stray closer to a dark end. All right, so we went to the shopping area, and it was just like this street, just like a street crowded with like shops. Again, similar, some you would like walk in. I noticed there were more places you were supposed to like walk in and look around than I did in Japan. These ones actually had like doors that closed themselves off. They felt more like a mix between Western shopping districts and like Japanese shopping districts. There was an interesting blend. But of course there were your standard street vendors. There were some people that literally just sat in the middle of the street with little like makeshift ground kitchens. They just made kimbap. They just made kimbap for people that would sit down and eat. It was cool. Like, it was neat to see. At this point, I was like, man, it has been bright. It has been nothing but bright. I cannot see most of the time. My eyes are sensitive. I got lighter colored eyes. So the bright lights do actually hurt. It's like, I need sunglasses. I didn't pack any. The ones that I do have are broken. Like, I just need sunglasses. So I was like, okay, I have one thing I'm looking for here. Either a nerd shop. I would love to buy some Magic cards. If you guys don't know, I love Magic the Gathering. So I was like, if I find a nerd shop, great. That would be perfect. I would love to visit and kind of see if I can get a pack of Magic cards. I don't even care if they're Spider-Man. I just want Magic cards. Second thing is I would love sunglasses. I would love to get some sunglasses. So I'm looking around. I find one shop. It's like a glasses store, not necessarily sunglasses. It was more like glasses. They had sunglasses, but it was mostly glasses, and they were fancy. In fact, even when I walked in, it was a tiny little shop, very small. like small. When I walked in, there were a couple people, like there was a couple getting sized for glasses, proper glasses. So the people that were working there, they didn't really pay me any mind because I admittedly was not their focus right then. Understandable. So I look around a little bit. Nothing really stands out. I'm not sure if I'm able to pick anything up and kind of try it on because nobody was there to hand it to me, and so I wasn't sure if I was allowed to. So I just kind of looked at it and then left. Walked around a little bit. I did manage to find a little nerd store. It was like a little geek store, little trinkets. In it it was pretty well stocked. They had a lot of things. They had Pokemon. They had a lot of like anime-based things. Some Studio Ghibli, which is actually really cool to see. Not nearly as much as Acorn Forest, but some Studio Ghibli. The big thing that really caught my eye were very specific figures, very specific statues of the Statue of Liberty. Lady Liberty herself. She was taking rather interesting poses. Yeah. Nothing explicit, right? There was nothing explicit. There was only one that would be, like, considered suggestive, possibly. And it's more like painting like one of your French girls kind of thing, right? She was more like just relaxing rather than posing. It's nothing explicit, but she was just there. Lady Liberty was just there. It really caught me off guard, I'll be honest. But while I was there, I did manage to find a couple things. Like I managed to grab like, I tried desperately to find this anime guy. He's from One Piece. I think his name was like Zoro or something. For my friend. I couldn't find a single thing except for a whole statue, which I would not be able to fit in my bag, and shipping it would be a pain. So I didn't get that, but that was the only thing I found for the guy. I'm like, how do they have all of the other One Piece stuff? It was mostly Demon Slayer, or like a couple Attack on Titan, but it was mostly Demon Slayer. Honestly, just not a lot beyond that. Like a few other like miscellaneous shows I have never seen. I've never seen One Piece, but I know the guy I'm looking for, and I can recognize One Piece. So, admittedly, not a lot there. I picked up a couple trinkets, thing here or there, for that same friend, because I can't find what I'm looking for, but at the very least, I want something. So, grabbed those, headed out, looked around a little bit more, because I still had some time to kill. And I managed to actually find a sunglass, like, shop. Like, it was an actual sunglass. It was bigger. It was much bigger, much wider than the previous one I had found. So I walked inside. Similar scenario. I think the owner was just like, "Annyeonghaseyo." I'm like, "Annyeonghaseyo." Because I know more Japanese than I do Korean. I took classes in Korean. Cannot remember a single thing for it. I genuinely could not tell you. I think the guy said something else to me, but honestly, I couldn't really hear him, and I definitely couldn't make out what he said, so I just kind of pretended I didn't. Because he was also talking to another guy there, so I don't know if it was addressed to me, if there was anything said at all, I don't know. But I looked around a little bit. I found a couple that were kind of interesting, but doing the conversion, they were coming out to like $60 to $80 for sunglasses. I'm like, they're nice. They're nice sunglasses. Don't get me wrong, they're cool, but that's a lot of cheddar. So I step out, like, okay, I'll look around a little bit more. Literally across the street, there was another sunglasses store. There was another one, so I was like, all right, cool, I'm right here. I may as well. So I visit that one. It is empty. Like, there are sunglasses on display. There's nobody there. I walk in, I see a woman in the back of the store. She has, like, the doctor lab coat and everything. I'm like, oh. Like, give her a nod. When I open the door, there's a bell, so, like, I know they notice I'm there. So then this guy comes out. He's like, "Annyeonghaseyo." I'm like, "Annyeonghaseyo." He's like, and he says something else in Korean. I'm like, It's like, okay, English. I'm like, yeah, English. It's broken and it's limited, but it like he is able to actually kind of explain to me. Like I'm looking at options. He's like, "You sunglasses?" I'm like, "Yeah, sunglasses." I'm like, okay, and he finds a pair. He's like, hands them over to me. I'm like, okay, thank God, I can actually try these on. So I try them on. I'm like, They're nice. They're nice sunglasses. They're not really for me. And I asked, like, do you have any square frames? He goes, he finds some more square frames. Kind of go back and forth. Eventually, I see a pair I like. I try them on. I'm like, okay, this is nice. Put them back. I try on a different pair. I'm like, okay. I pick up the original pair. I'm like, how much are these? He's like, this many yen. I'm like, okay. He actually, he does the calculations, like $40. I'm like, oh, that's not bad. That's really not bad. $40 for sunglasses that should last me. I can't complain too much. So like, yeah, I'll get these. It's like, okay, cool. So we go over. He automatically, like, he takes them, he puts them through like this pressure machine. Like, I guess it's just pressurized air. It's just compressed air, but it blows them off, completely cleans them, puts them in their own like little carrying bag, hands it to me. I give them the card. We pay. I leave. So now I finally have sunglasses, which is nice. Spent a little bit more on sunglasses than I think I ever have, but they're nice. They're supposed to be nice sunglasses, and I don't like that. I don't like that. Nope. Can we just not? I don't like the whispering in my ears. It distracts me. It's not like creepy. It's just like, I can't think. So I go through, head back. I think the shopping trip was the last of Busan. Like, it was cool. It was neat. It was cool. Like, I can't complain. Go back, get to the boat. Nothing else really notable happens. The next big stop was, I mean, it's one that I'm, boy, do I know the name of. It was, I think it was, I'm trying to remember which one it was. Please, I took pictures of the museum, right? I took pictures of the museum, right? Yeah, okay. So the next port we had was actually Nagasaki. Which, surprise, surprise, a lot of the touristy things in Nagasaki are surrounding, you guessed it, nuclear bombs. Shocking, I know. It's almost like it completely changed life in the area for the worse. Like to the point where they need to record it and talk about it and spread the fact that these are not good things that we should have. There were two major things that I went on. I wasn't paired with anybody this time. It was just me on this excursion. I went to Peace Park and went to the Atomic Bomb Museum, the Nagasaki Bomb Museum. There were a couple other stops included. But those are the main 2 points. Like, it was a walking tour. I went on a walking tour across Nagasaki, so it was all on foot. The whole thing was on foot. The first big thing I went and did was, while we were walking, I was thirsty. So I got a bottle of Japanese Pepsi, which I noticed. Okay, so I did not get a chance to have Japanese Coke. I did have Pepsi though. I don't know if it applies to Coke, but soda, at least Pepsi, tasted a lot less sweet. It did not taste nearly as sweet as American Pepsi. I also noticed it didn't leave the same, like, acidic feeling. American Pepsi felt a lot more acidic. Maybe it was all in my head, but it didn't feel like it was any more. It didn't feel as acidic. It didn't leave the same feeling in my mouth. But it wasn't as sweet. Did not feel as acidic. The other big thing was that it tasted very similar to those, like, cola gummies. Like, if you go to the gas station and you buy a pack of, like, soda gummies, like cola gummies, it tasted very similar to those. Because if you've had cola gummies, you know they don't really taste like cola. They don't really taste like cola. They taste like cola gummies, right? It's a poor imitation of what cola tastes like. It was kind of like that. Not bad, but it was nice to have a cool drink. But it didn't taste like Pepsi, you know? Again, nothing to complain about necessarily. It was fine. But I went from that to visit Peace Park. Now, Peace Park is, if I'm not mistaken, it was built around the epicenter of, I think it was Fat Man. I think Fat Man hit Nagasaki and Little Boy hit Hiroshima. But I'm not 100% sure. The bomb that hit. Peace Park was built around the epicenter. Now, of course, the half-life is long gone, so it was not radioactive. I'm sure there's probably technically higher levels of radiation than in most of the other area. But I was fine. Cool thing about Peace Park is they had a couple big like notes, big statues and things that are worth mentioning. The fact that it started with a big fountain, like a pool of water and everything. And apparently it was put there because immediately after the bomb, because of the heat that was brought on, right? If you did not get immediately scorched or scarred or killed by the bomb that hit, it was so hot it dried up the water right in your body. You got dehydrated. So immediately after it, people were so thirsty. But when they went to the nearby river to try and drink, they realized it had been dried up entirely. Like there was no river to drink from. So they actually put this fountain installation in as like for the people that were not able to drink. Here we have now provided water. Like it felt a little weird, but I think it was cool. It was a cool like thought to include. The big thing for Peace Park is that it is filled with tons of statues from different countries that had actually donated to the park as like in solidarity kind of thing, being like, hey, we stand by you, we stand by kind of what happened. Here's like something to at least symbolize the fact that we stand with you. There were a ton of statues, a bunch of statues from different countries, by different artists, each for their country. It was really, really cool to see. A big one was actually a statue. I don't remember where it was supposed to be from, but it includes like a bell. This big bell near like the main flat part of the park. Apparently, according to the tour guide, one of the survivors of the bomb actually used to meet people. Like he would just stand outside of that statue and just talk with people coming by, kind of talk about his experience, talking about the time spent there. Now, whenever the tour guide and the person, like the secondary tour guide, were talking about it, I'm assuming he's dead. I'm assuming the guy that talked about it is dead. Because he would be well into his 90s plus by now. Or at the very least, he's just not there anymore. Like, he doesn't attend it anymore. Because I say he probably died because the secondary guide started tearing up. So apparently he was a really nice guy, and he's not around there anymore for whatever reason. There were still some ruins that you could actually see of what used to be a penitentiary. Right there. Definitely not anymore. Nope. It is gone. So you can see like this rubble sticking up out of the ground in these rows where the walls used to be. There's a big blue statue of a big blue man, which like symbolized things like, oh, there's danger coming from the air, and then silence among the land. Just really cool, really cool, really neat to see. It was nice to see like the symbolism behind a lot of the statues and everything. Things like how because he's pointing in the air, it's danger from the sky, and his arm across the like outstretched to his side symbolized like silence. There's like a little peek out observatory that we got to see. More statues. Kind of just going through my photo gallery here to try and figure out if there's anything else I missed. I think we just kind of moved on from that to, at least the next big one was the museum, the bomb museum. Incredibly informative. Learned actually quite a bit. Like very in depth, and it was cool the way they structured it, because it literally started with you would walk in the museum. You go through like the ticket counter, and as you walk in, there's this big empty room. Nothing but a ramp that goes all the way down in a spiral, right? This big ramp that goes around the walls, and then stops on the bottom floor and lets you kind of explore out. In this big white room, there's nothing but the ramp and a few statues and placards on the wall. The placards, starting at 1945, or I guess, sorry, they started at 2025. And then at little intervals, it would be 2025, 2015, 2005, like going down and down and down until you get to 1945. Where like every single statue for those years, or like little monument for that year, is right by the placard. So like while the wall has these recesses for these different statues, you could see like, oh, these are the different things that people have donated or communities have donated throughout the years to kind of keep this memory alive, which was really cool. It was really, really neat to see. Get down to the bottom floor. You could actually see the first thing they have on display Again, excellent storytelling from the museum's part. First thing they have on display is a broken, busted up clock that had been obliterated from the blast. So you could actually see the second it stopped being able to tell time because it was destroyed. The second the bomb hit and destroyed it. I think it was 11/19 September. I used to have it memorized. It was in the morning, I think. It was wild. Wait, hang on. Exact time of Nagasaki bomb. 11:02, 9. So it was August. It was August. So 8/9/1945. At exactly 11:02, because a lot of the statues actually had the time and the day inscribed, like never forget. Kind of like how we have 9/11. Surprisingly enough, I know, another national tragedy. But they don't joke about it as much as we do 9/11. It's almost like killed a lot more people, and it was an act of war and not just terrorism. Anyway, kind of went through, saw like all of the displays. You get to see the clock, which is really cool. As you walk through, like as you go around the corner, they kind of give you some brief history of the area. And immediately as you get through that brief history, you actually see a bunch of like replica ruins. So you could get a look at what it was like to go through these ruins. This broken water tower, this destroyed rubble wall, a tower, like a light pole, broken, busted over. A chapel entrance, broken and busted. Completely ruined. All so cool to see. Like you could almost live through the moments after the bomb. Obviously the chapel had a bunch of miscellaneous things. There was a display. There's like a cool interactive display of like a topography, and you can see how the fires from the bomb spread and the radiation affected the area, and like an actual like view of it all from a top-down view. They had a spot that actually showcased the size. Wait, what was Nagasaki? Which one was that? Batman or little boy? 2 bombs respectively during World War II. Which one was it? I'm trying to figure out which bomb was where. Pacific War. Yeah, I know the background of it. Preparations to invade Japan. I know. Yes, there are air raids. What the? Okay, whatever. I'm just gonna pretend I can't hear that. Preparations. I know. Which ones were they? I should just look that up. I don't know why I'm going through the wiki page about the bombings. I should just look it up. I should look it up. I should just look it up. Little boy. Okay. Except for the uranium payload at the beginning of 1919 for their 2 uranium-235 components, hollow critical. First plutonium core. Okay. Hiroshima, Nagasaki. Where are you hiding? Events 7 through 9. Nagasaki during World War II. Joint Chiefs. Contrast. Timber. Permitted to grow for many years without conforming to any definite city zoning plan. According to the crew members, perfect mission where everything went right. But Nagasaki where everything almost went wrong. Delegated to so-and-so, scheduled for the 11th. Moved earlier to avoid bad weather. Dress rehearsal. Okay. Bad weather, reserve fuel unavailable. Secondary target. Yeah, they went somewhere originally and they had a secondary because they were just not working. Scared, all clear. These bits 11:01. So this is a minute before. Last minute breaking the clouds over them. Bombardier to visually sight the target as ordered. The Fat Man weapon. So it was Fat Man. Yeah, I was right. So you actually see they had a display of what the Fat Man looked like. This big, intimidating, yellow, rotund bomb. That you could actually get a full look at, a full contrast. And they actually showed you the internals, the guts of the bomb, which is kind of cool. You can see a lot of the aftermath and how it directly affected people. Things like the fact that it burned off a layer of things like concrete, but because people's shadow were there, or somebody was there casting the shadow, it prevented the scorching on that part, meaning it like used the negative space to essentially permanently inscribe somebody there. It's macabre, but so neat. Things like how bottle and glass mutated and twisted under the heat and pressure of the area. You can see actually the fragments of somebody's hand bone stuck in the glass fragments as they were holding something, or they were at least touching something that melted and twisted. After you got through that initial area, kind of talking about, also the ad's gonna start soon, so I'm gonna finish this thought. But after you got through that initial area talking about the bombing and directly and kind of the effects of it afterwards, you got into an area of like complete testimonies of people's like experiences, being living with that, being like a victim of it. You'd actually see people talking about it through forms of like various arts. A lot of people talking about like it through poetry or just their direct stories, arts, drawings, paintings, full like documentary. Like they had a very informative like people talking about their experience with it. Which is really, really cool to see. And it gives you a lot more perspective, like the people that were behind the aftermath of all of this. Well, so the ad's going to start, yeah. So we have ads running. I'm just going to vamp a little bit until they get back. We are at 3 hours. I'm just kind of surprised I've been able to go this long. I mean, I say that. I talk for 4 hours straight anyway. It's just now I don't have anything to focus on, which is fine. But I have a story to focus on. I can talk about my story. Not that it's the most riveting thing. I know that people have kind of come by. It's late. It's a late stream. I'm not looking forward to getting up and going to work tomorrow. It's not going to be... I have a shorter shift. I had a shorter shift today and I have a shorter shift tomorrow, which helps. Don't get me wrong, it helps. Like, it's nice that I don't have to work as long and the hours aren't as bad. But it's still like... Still very much like I just don't want to. I just don't want to. I want to actually, like, have a nice day off. I say, as I've admittedly had more days off than I probably should. That being said, I do have, like, what? I know I work tomorrow. I think I work, yeah, Monday, Tuesday. But I have Wednesday, Thursday off. I actually have interviews lined up for Wednesday, Thursday, which is going to be cool. I just want to get at it. I just want to stop working before Black Friday, man. I don't want to get through Black Friday. I really don't. It's just anything but that. And luckily the shifts aren't going to be too bad. Yeah, I have tomorrow, Tuesday, and I have the next couple days off, and I have interviews lined up for both days. That's not going to be awful. That one's only 6. That one's a full 8-hour shift, which is going to suck. It's going to suck. Hang on, what do I have? What's my stream schedule? Do I stream from... I don't think I stream from midnight again. I think it's just... Okay, 6 to 10. That's not bad. That's pretty reasonable, actually. I can do that. But yeah, so once you get to that area once you get through the area talking about people's testimonies, their experiences, kind of everything they had to deal with, had to go through, it then went over to... I don't remember. Does Corvus... Hang on. I just had a thought. Did Corvus actually... Like, I know he spoke. He said words. I just don't remember him moving, which was concerning. Did he move?
This is a test message
cool.
from the Bird to Sea movement.
I couldn't even remember if he had moved. I'm like, hang on. I want to make sure that actually works. The last area, which I did have to rush through, unfortunately, was... Like it was very much on the modern implementations of nuclear technology and nuclear weaponry, where they're at, how they have affected people even now, how they could still affect people, where things could go wrong. It was very informative on that front. Unfortunately, I was out of time. Again, it was like a 45-minute tour through the museum, and I just did not have the time to be as thorough as I would have liked. So I did have to kind of rush through, which was unfortunate, just to get through it. But immediately after the museum, we again walked around. It was a walking tour, so it was very like I walked everywhere. So we went from the museum actually to, we did take trams, which was interesting. Like we took like ground, like tram cars. So I wasn't walking the whole time, but still. Next stop was actually a Shinto shrine, which we didn't go up to the shrine, but we walked kind of past it. It looked really cool. Had this big staircase, 2 lions guarding it. The biggest and coolest thing for it was the fact that it had 2 massive trees, massive trees, big, bulky. I think they were comfers, big trees. One of them had this massive hole in the side, this big gaping hole, just blackened on the inside. And the tour guide actually talked about how that tree was actually struck with a massive boulder after the bomb had hit and sent it flying. But despite the boulder blowing a hole in the side of this tree, it persisted and it fought. And they kept it there and turned it into a shrine as part of like showing, hey, we're still here, we're still fighting, we're still resilient, we still exist. Much like this tree. Like it was really, really cool to see. And it's such an old tree. It was so big. Such a big tree. We visited the one-legged Torii gate. It's literally just a stone Torii gate. But it was really neat to see how it was still standing after we had visited the museum. Which actually, in that introductory area that showed like, hey, preludes, this is what the area was kind of like. They actually had pictures of like, I think it was some military guys just sitting on the same staircase, the same exact staircase with a full intact Torii gate just right above them, right behind them, kind of in the picture. So it was really neat to see how like this is a standing monolith of what was remaining after the bomb. And this was miles out. This wasn't even close to the bomb itself, but it still stood. Again, pretty cool to see. There was nothing else that really happened tour-wise that day. That was actually the end of it. Went to the gate, took the trams back, headed back to the boat. We still had a good few hours left, though. We still had a good few hours left there. So I was like, you know what? I want something to do. I'm hungry. I don't want to eat on the boat. I could go to the buffet, I guess. I could go back on the boat and have the buffet. I didn't want that. I wanted to actually try to like have something new. So I started off with a little treat. Right outside of the port, because we went from the tour ended at the port. We started at the port, ended at the port, so people could just get back on the boat. Right outside of it was actually a couple food carts, and I was like, you know what, screw it, I'm gonna get a little treat, just a little something while I'm here. So I ended up getting a what is it called? Taiyaki. I got just like a little road, like street vendor taiyaki. I don't know if it was authentic taiyaki. I say it was in Japan. I don't know if I would call it authentic taiyaki. I don't know if it would be considered it, because it wasn't like a dough. It was puff pastry. It was essentially just like puff pastry that was pressed in the shape of the fish with the red bean paste inside. And it tasted fine. I mean, it tasted like red bean paste, let's be honest, and puff pastry. And it was, sure, it was tasty, but it was like, I don't know, it didn't feel like taiyaki. It just felt like puff pastry. What? It felt like puff pastry with red bean paste. So, I mean, it was fine, but it was whatever. So I was like, I'm still hungry. You know what? I'm gonna treat myself. I put something in my phone. Punched in a little address. What? So I looked something up. 13 minutes away. Okay, cool. So I start walking. I use my phone as a GPS. I start walking. I ended up coming across this group of schoolgirls still in uniform, just walking. And I hate that I followed them the whole way. I was not trying. I was not trying to. I did not even want to be following them. However, they were headed the exact same direction I was, at the exact same pace I was, the whole time. The whole time. And so I was just that tall white guy following them the whole way until I saw it on the horizon. 2 golden arches. I had made it. 13 minutes of walking later, and I had found it. McDonald's. Japanese McDonald's. And I was ecstatic. Turns out the girls were actually also going to the Japanese McDonald's, which was wild. I really did just follow them the whole way. Well, I actually managed to pass them at one point. One of them had slowed down, and the others slowed down to match their pace. So I actually walked around them. So I beat them there. They had also been going to McDonald's, which was crazy. And I decided, okay, I love trying funky new things. I talked about it earlier. I tried corn drink just to try something new. I love trying new things, but this is McDonald's. I know what I like at McDonald's. I want to see if it's any different elsewhere, right? If I visited, I've already had German McDonald's. I've had American McDonald's. I've never had Japanese McDonald's. If I travel to Canada, if I travel to Mexico, if I go anywhere else, if I travel anywhere else in my life, I want to see if I can go to McDonald's there just to see what it's like, to try something new. And the nice thing is, they had kiosks. So I didn't have to talk to somebody. And the kiosks actually let you choose table service or going up to the counter. So I chose table service, obviously. And I got my usual, right? I got a Big Mac meal. And I got a spicy chicken, the spicy McChicken. Because, I mean, those are both pretty reliable. I know what they're both like here in the US. I like both of them. It's filling. It'll be good. First thing I noticed that was different was that when I was ordering, the Big Mac meal offered you different sides. It offered, you could get fries, right? Whenever you get the meal, you could get fries. You could also choose to get a side salad, which is actually really smart. That's really cool. They really like their fresh veggies there. You could get nuggets, which is so smart. That's genius. If I'm not hungry enough for like an extra sandwich, but I'm more hungry than like burger and fries, I can get nuggets with it. That's more filling than the fries, and it has more protein, admittedly. Like that's so smart. Or the really exciting one, instead of fries, instead of nuggets, instead of even a salad, you can get a little dish of corn and beans. Now this is it's edamame, so it's like a green bean. It's the more of like a, admittedly like a tasteless bean, but a bean nonetheless. So you could get fries, salad, chicken, or beans and corn. Already an interesting start. Also worth mentioning, that bad boy, 750 yen. Today's exchange rate, right? Current exchange rate, 750 yen to USD is $5. $4.90. $5 for a Big Mac meal. Medium everything. Medium fries, medium drink, nothing fancy. No like large, no upgrades or anything. Everything's as it is. $5. Absurd. You would not see that. That's double the price in the States. That's like $10, $11 at least for a Big Mac meal. If you're lucky, it's $6. If you use a coupon on the app, it's $6. Cool, it's still cheaper. Still, it's cheaper there. And that's not even before, that's before tax. So it's $5 in tax. Here, it's $6 in tax if you use a coupon on the app once a day. It's wild. That's wild. Admittedly, it was pretty much the exact same. The burger tastes the same. It just didn't leave an icky feeling. Maybe it's the oil in the fries. Maybe it's the fact that the soda wasn't a large at a medium, right? Because the cup is, their medium is smaller than what we have in the US. We really just make everything bigger. But the Big Mac was basically the same. It tasted like a Big Mac, felt like a Big Mac. Around the board, it was just a Big Mac. The big difference was the spicy McChicken. If you've had a McChicken, you know it's literally just bun, chicken, mayo, lettuce. Shredded lettuce. Just throw shredded lettuce, dump a bucket of mayo on it, slip the bun, slip the chicken in there, and call it a day, right? Spicy McChicken in the States is pretty much the exact same thing, except the patty, the chicken patty, was made with like a sneeze of cayenne pepper. It's not really spicy, but it has a little bit more flavor, so I get it. They actually treat you well. They make it an experience. The spicy chicken sandwich there, first of all, has a sesame seeded bun. It is an actual burger bun, not just like this piddly little like, oh, round bread, cool. Like this is an actual burger bun. Of course, it has the shredded lettuce, has the patty. The patty is not spicy, nor is the lettuce, obviously. What they do is actually put a sauce on it. They put an actual sauce. It's not just mayo. It's an actual, like, it's mayo-based, but a mayo-based, like, pepper sauce. Not hot sauce, but, like, a spicier mayo. And it was delicious. It's so good. It was so good. And I'm heartbroken we don't have that in the U.S. And what's even more tragic is the fact that they're bringing international menus to McDonald's in Canada. You can get like international menu items in Canada. You can't get them in the US. For whatever reason, they have not done it in the US. The international menu does not exist in the US, and I'm calling up Ronald himself. Mr. Donald, I'm gonna call him up, be like, hey, bring me that international menu, or I'm gonna be so cross with you, Buster. I'm gonna call your mother. And we don't want that. We don't want that. I will call your mother. Have a strong words with her. Don't make me do that. You do not want to make me do that. But overall, generally, McDonald's pretty good, pretty nice. Next day, we went to Kobe. Kobe was pretty neat, actually. It was really cool. Getting there, coated in fog. Like, you could not see the shore. It was so dense with fog. Now, actually getting on the shore, it wasn't that bad, but it was still really cool to see. I'm trying to think. We visited, so at Kobe, I'm trying to speed it up a little bit because I'm hungry. At Kobe, we had a private guide. My grandma splurged out and got a private guide for us. So actually, we got to kind of see things firsthand without going through a whole group, which was really, really nice. The first thing we visited was a Zen temple. I think it'd be a temple. Yeah, it was not a shrine. Zen temple, which is a subsect of Buddhism, and came equipped with an actual Zen garden. I learned how well it's maintained. The biggest thing for it, apparently, is or a big part of a Zen garden, right? Obviously, yes, it's the it's the upkeep and the design, because they brought in an artist specifically for the design. A big part of it is actually the backdrop. You care about the environment that it's in and what's behind it, not just what's in the foreground. The background is important. So a big part of this Zen garden was like the natural forest behind it, the mountain drop behind it. It was very, very pretty. It was very Zen, if you will. Kind of walked through. It was just nice. It was a nice temple. Visited a bamboo forest, which is just, as the name implies, a forest of bamboo. Went through a little shopping district. We went to a nice little local restaurant. It was like, I'd say, what did it come out to? I think it was like 1,200, maybe like 1,230, 1,250, maybe 1,300 yen for a full meal. Like a full meal. It had pork cutlet. It had a side salad. It had croquette. It had, they called it fried chicken. It's literally just like chicken nuggets, but like homemade fried chicken nuggets. It came with a bowl of miso soup. It came with a bowl of rice, some extra like little noodles on the side. I really don't know what those were there for. It's like a pasta salad kind of thing. And then of course your traditional, your pickled beets, pickled radish probably. Delicious, cheap, delicious, great time. Visited another shrine. This one was, it was iconic for like a torii gate. Like it was thousands of torii gates that went up and around a mountain, up and around an entire mountain, where it was like, it's tradition to do it as a hike. It's like a several hour long hike up and around the mountain, going through all of the gates. We didn't do that. Again, went with grandma. Grandma's old. Went through that. She stopped at the base. I actually went through the gates, took a lot of pictures of it. I don't have any of them because she never sent them to me, because I had to use her phone, because she was like, hey, take pictures of these for me. I'm like, sure, because I can't take pictures of mine and her phone at the same time. So she has them, I don't. But it was cool to visit. The guide actually properly showed us how to do the like prayer ritual of like the bow twice, donate, clap twice, pray, bow, that whole sequence. He showed us firsthand the whole process, which was actually really nice. The big one after that, so after we visited the Torii Gates, was a tea ceremony. There's a local little tea shop, which I think we took like an Uber to, or like a taxi to. This small tiny shop dedicated to preserving the like ancient technique of tea ceremonies for matcha, ancient matcha. And it was really cool. It was this tiny little shop, really just like, you could tell it had been around for a long time. There's this ancient old man who took us over to the back through this little tiny garden that had like a tea plant in it and everything. Little pond, little tea plant. I got bit by mosquitoes just walking through it, which is great. But we sat down and he showed us, like, he walked us through the whole process of making your own cup of matcha tea, where like you warm up the cup, you warm up the brush, you dry out the cup, you scoop in a very specific amount of the matcha powder. Then you add the water, you stir it properly, right? There's a technique for the stirring. There's a technique for the actually picking it up once it's done. You're supposed to turn it so that, like, the side that was, I guess, being prepared is facing away from you. It was a whole thing. Very informative, very, very cool. It was a great experience. I'm glad I actually got to go through it. It was really interesting is because matcha is such a bitter tea. They actually give you these little like rice cakes with like a red bean paste coated over it. So instead of adding sugar to the matcha, you eat that and then you drink. So instead of adding sugar to the tea, you basically add sugar to your mouth and then drink the tea, which is really cool. I didn't know about that. That one I had no recollection of, but it's really cool to think of. Like how there's those, they were trending for a little bit, but like those pills that you would take, you'd let them sit in your mouth. They'd coat your mouth. And then you were supposed to like eat something and it would make it taste sweet. It's basically that exact same concept. It's that exact same concept, but specifically for tea, where you don't add the sugar to the tea. You just drink it and add the sugar to your mouth. I thought that was really interesting. I ended up picking up some souvenirs. They gave us as like a little gift. They gave us the teacup and the whisk. And I was like, okay, neat. Can I buy some matcha as well? And I sent those to somebody as a gift because like I don't drink matcha. I don't really like matcha myself. And so I have no use for having the whisk. I have no use for having the tea or the teacup or the tea, obviously. So I was just like, bro, this is a perfect gift. I could just give this to somebody else. So honestly, it was a great experience. I loved that. It was really, really cool. Was this the last one? I think this must have been the last. I think this was the very last stop. So I'm actually making decent time. I'm a little bit over, but this should be the last one. Yes. Okay, cool. So the very last trip was to, oh yeah, it's worth mentioning. We were in Kyoto. That whole trip around and seeing everything, that was in Kyoto. We visited Kyoto with that. The last one was, I can't remember the name. Hang on. Last one was, do I have a picture of what it was called? Shizutetsu. Hang on. Let's highlight this, see if I can translate it, see if I can figure out what it's supposed to be. The prefecture, maybe. Shizutetsu? I feel like it was somewhere with a more memorable name. Shizutetsu just the name of the rail process? I can't remember the name of the last place I visited, which is unfortunate. The last one was another shrine. This is a tour that I was once again only on my own, but it was specifically an observatory into a shrine. The observatory was to see, you probably guessed it, Mount Fuji. Literally, it was just an observatory where you could see Mount Fuji well. You could also see the area around it, but let's be honest, people were only really going there for Mount Fuji. This is also where I remembered that I could actually take panoramic photos, so I actually got some really cool panoramas of the observatory. Nothing else really about it. It was just like at the top of some hill that had some historical significance. They built an observatory, and you could see Mount Fuji from there, which was cool. We didn't see we didn't go to Mount Fuji, but we could see Mount Fuji, so it was, kind of like the same thing. I had some Japanese apple juice called like Q. It's like Ku or Chu. It was just QOO. It was apple juice. It was just sweet apple, like pretty much what you'd expect. So as soon as we finished up with the observatory, like again, I was with a tour group. As soon as we finished with the observatory, we went down to the bus. The bus literally just drove around the corner, and we went to a tram. This was like a rope tram, a rope car, I guess, if you want to call it that. We took the steps down to the like boarding area for the rope tram. Already really interesting, because apparently a big sponsor of like that area, that area for the month was My Hero Academia. So the whole way down, there were like little stickers and little icons of characters from My Hero in uniforms, or in like doing little activities related to like the tourist kind of business around there, which is really weird to see. So like they had Shigaraki with like tea leaves, like he had been picking tea leaves, like little things like that they were really weird to see, but fun. It was still fun. The shrine itself was at the top, I guess it would be kind of around. Basically, we took the rope tram down. It was at a downward angle, but then once you get to that, the shrine itself is upstairs, so it was like, I guess, more parallel, just on the other side of something. Again, very pretty shrine. I can't remember the exact, I think it was like some iconic founder was there. I can't remember the exact, like, who was supposed to be here. But like some iconic founder of the region was, apparently this was like his shrine. He loved the area. To the point where they even have like a mausoleum for him, dedicated to him. Where, fun fact, it like faces the west, because he was from Kyoto, but it's in obviously this area because that's where he loved, is where he wanted to live. Behind his mausoleum was actually a little tomb for his, or I guess little gravestone for his horse as well, which is like a fun little touch. Bunch of like miscellaneous pictures I got. I found a cute little quiet sitting area. Basically, once we had finished up down there, we were set to kind of do whatever we wanted, wherever we wanted. So once we had finished up over at the shrine, I took the tram back up, and I visited the gift shop, just kind of mill around because I had some extra time to kill. Again, nobody was there for me to kill time with, so it was just me on my own. So I just kind of went through, milled around the gift shop a little bit. I was like, hey, I have some extra money. This is my last day here. I just need to get something, right? I just need to get something to use up what I have, because it's use it or lose it kind of deal, right? So I got a couple things. I got like some treats. Actually, I have some like, they're strawberry like little cakes I need to eat. I actually have them here. I need to eat them. And I got some, I wanted to get some ice cream. I wanted to get some orange ice cream, but they had closed literally minutes before I got back up there to try and get some. And I got some shrimp crackers. There was rice crackers, like shrimp flavored rice crackers. Again, I like trying funky things. I like trying weird things. So I got that. I found a cute little sitting area, just quiet, cozy little sitting area up above the parking lot. That actually also had a view of the mountains in which the shrine was in. Had its own little tortilla gate. Just a cute little spot. Ate my little shrimp crackers. Met some Australians that were rather talkative. I mean, they were nice. I wanted to kind of sit there and listen to music while I ate my shrimp crackers, but I ate my shrimp crackers while I talked to them instead. So I mean, it didn't hurt anything. They were just talking about how like, yeah, man, you're young. I'm like, yeah, I know. Everyone here is just old. Just some old retired Australians. I say old. They were like in their 40s. They weren't old. 40s, 50s, young, old. So I just relaxed, ate my little shrimp crackers. Admittedly, the shrimp crackers didn't taste bad. They tasted like, honestly, they just kind of tasted like vague whisper of fish. They were fine. But I made the mistake of like, you know, whenever you have Cheeto fingers, you're like, nobody's around. what's a little taste of Cheeto, huh? So you do a little, just like a little bit of taste, not sucking on your finger, but maybe like a little scrape, just to see what it's like. I did that. Man, it reminds me of koi food I ate once. Not great, just not great. Really regretted that. Really did not a fun experience with that. So I did promptly wash my hands. But that was pretty much everything for the tour, and that was the last stop there. So I was pretty much done after that. But I was like, you know what? I don't want this to be the end. I want to kind of do things. I want to make the last of it. So after I'd gotten on the bus, they took us back over the boat, and we had hours to kill. I was like, okay, I could go back on the boat, eat at the buffet, and call it a day. That's the end of my trip. That's the end of it. That's the end of the trip. Or I could just do what I want. I could just go off and do things. Now, unfortunately, the pier was not really close to any restaurants, at least not ones that I could read the names of on Google Maps, because again, Japanese. But there was a little shopping mall, so I was like, sure, the shopping mall surely has something. So I visit that. Turns out it was more of like a department store. Shocker. It was very open concept, which was kind of cool. Had a bunch of stores in it. It was just clothes. I get to the second floor, it's just clothes. It's just a clothes store, basically. There's a lot of clothes. I'm like, they had a restaurant, but it was like a sit-down eatery, and nobody was there, so it's either not great or they're trying to close, and I just don't want to intrude on that. So I'm like, you know what? I'll just keep walking. Because I look around and I'm like, oh, there's an actual mall. Like an actual, like, this is a mall nearby. So I walk over there. It's like overall, it's like a 10, 11-minute walk from the pier. It's really not bad. I get to walk by the ocean. In fact, this mall was so big, it actually had a Ferris wheel, which I was really tempted to go. I was really tempted to go on the Ferris wheel. I thought that would have been really cool. I didn't, but I did think about it. Because again, I don't want to be the loser who goes on a Ferris wheel alone. I don't want to be alone on a Ferris wheel. Sorry, I'm getting over the last of a cold, and also my throat keeps tickling, so I'm like, oh, I gotta get this out. Okay, so I go into this mall, and immediately I'm greeted with, actually, someone who just says, like, guide. And she has a shirt, like a vest, that says guide on it. English guide. I'm like, oh, hey. She actually approaches me, she's like, hey, do you need help finding anything? I'm like, actually, yeah, I'm just looking for somewhere to eat. She's like, burger? I'm like, sure. She's like, Wendy's? Sure. So she takes me over, she walks, we have some small talk. Another 2 things, she's like, oh, you're alone, blah, blah, blah. What's your social security number? What are the 3 funny numbers on the back of your credit card? Things like that, normal things. We talk, she takes me over to the little food court. Yeah, here we go. I'm like, oh, thank you. She heads back off. I'm like, all right, cool. I look around. Yes, there is a Wendy's, just in the mall. Japanese Wendy's. Immediately, I'm caught off guard. They have an advertisement for a dessert. It's a dessert that happens to be a drink. A drink that happens to look suspiciously like boba. That's right, Wendy's was advertising boba drinks. I was like, I don't know if I want to be involved in that. And admittedly, I've already had McDonald's. I want to try some other like local things, even if it's local fast food. I want to try other local things. So I roam around the food court a little bit. I go here, there. I find somewhere called Bell's Meat. Like Bell's possessive meat. Not plural, but like possessive. This is the meat of Bell's. Like, oh, that seems interesting. They advertised the curry bun in English, by the way. And they had a menu, also in English. And it was just like, okay, this is really accessible. They had a menu, like a paper menu they could pull out, all in English. They had a kiosk that you order from. It was very, very tourist friendly. So I go up, I place my order without any issues. It was just super easy process. Really nothing, really nothing exotic. It was really straightforward. Really no issues. I ran into no speed bumps, no road bumps, anything. It was a very straightforward process. What was it? I ended up actually whatever. I ended up actually waiting around a little bit because they give you this printed out receipt that has your number on it, and they'll call the number at the top of the screen. You just go up, you grab your food. So I was waiting around, and there was this guy that came up, and he was like, gosh, what did he say? I can't even remember what he said. But he approached me. He was like, "Hey, you just visiting?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm just visiting." At some point, I just used some Japanese. Like, "Oh, you speak Japanese?" Like, he said that in Japanese. It's like, he's like, "Oh, you speak Japanese in English." I'm like, I can't remember the term. I cannot believe I completely forgot it. But I used a term in Japanese. It was like, no, choto. It's just a little. What was that? I had a full phrase I had memorized specifically for it. It was something like, because it is worth mentioning. Whenever somebody said something I didn't understand, I would just hit them with the eto. Like, I was just like, I don't know what you're saying. I'm so sorry. It literally just, it comes out to like, you're thinking. It's like saying, like, eto, sono koto nai desu. Like, it's just a filler. It's something they use to fill. So I was kind of just looking at them and saying, but I did eventually manage to sputter out whatever it was that I managed to memorize. It just, Nihongo choto? No, that's little Japanese, like a little Japanese. Nihongo wa choto? No, Nihongo wa choto? Was that it? Choto? I guess, yeah, that Nihongo wa choto. So it is a little bit. It's just like, I'm not good. It's a little bit. Things like that. I'm trying to, is that actually, did I get it right? One of my Japanese course teach me about liking, not liking specific joke. Wa choto. I don't really like a bit, some little. It's a different kind of size. Wait a sec. Ahem. Well, you know, sorry, but so I go there, does another nebulous dodges, refuses, excuses. If you like to understand precisely, it means because it hasn't explained you properly. I don't really like. Okay. Was I right? No. Nihongo wa choto. Okay, yeah, I did. It was a Quora article I read. Okay, cool. Yeah, so I was actually right. I can't believe I got that right. Yeah, Nihongo wa choto. So whenever he asked, like, in Japanese, and I was like, eto, I was like, you speak Japanese? And like, Nihongo wa choto. She's like, I speak a little Japanese. Just like a little, just a smidge. Yeah, just like here, there. He's like, oh, so good. I'm like, really? It's so cool. It's like, and he hit me with another one. It's like, something. Like, it's like, where are you from? I'm like, America. Like, oh, America. Oh, sugoi. Like, thank you. Oh my goodness. He hit me with sugoi. Like, oh my good. I feel so good about that. I know what that one means. I know that one. Though I don't know why I deserve it. No, but it feels good. Like, I am sugoi. You know what? You're right. You're sugoi. Suge. You're right. But eventually he goes off. We don't talk for very long. It's just like the initial, like, hey, where are you from? Oh, that's really cool. Anyway, bye. I mill around a little bit. I'm like, you know what? Last day, I want to treat myself. So I go over to Wendy's. Luckily, they have kiosks, so I'm able to order there. Same way. I'm like, okay, I just need something small. I just need like a little treat. So that's not going to take too long. And I see they have this boba tea. I did not get boba tea. I did, however, get a milky frappe. A strawberry milky frappe with boba. Or with tapioca. It was literally just cold, sweet cold milk with strawberries and boba. And man, it was delicious. It was so good. So I grabbed that. I take, basically the order comes up. They have it up on the monitor. Grab my drink, grab my food, head out. I just walk out because I'm like, okay, I don't have a ton of time. I don't want to sit in here and just eat. So actually, I took my food, I headed out. I walked maybe like halfway between the mall and the pier. and I just sat down on the grass right at the edge of the water. I sat on the grass and I just ate my food. I just ate my food in the grass. It was cozy. I had such a good time. I was able to just like listen to music while I ate. It was so nice. It was so nice. And the milky frappe was delicious. It's a shame we don't have them in the US. The meal I ended up getting, I'm trying to go by images because I don't memorize any of what the food actually was. It was very similar to what I've already had. I think it was just like, again, pork cutlet over rice, but with a side salad. So pork cutlet over rice, side salad, and then I had the drink. So overall, not bad. Again, not bad for the price I paid. Delicious and a cozy way to end my time there in Japan. I did technically go through and I went through and did some miscellaneous things in the airport. Like I went and visited the McDonald's there. I got a teriyaki burger, which really it was just like teriyaki sauce on. It was like a Big Mac, but hold the middle bun. It was a double cheeseburger. It was a double cheeseburger with teriyaki sauce. It was not my favorite. It's not like I started feeling gross after eating it, but I did finish it. It was just not I wouldn't recommend it. I would not recommend it unless you really like teriyaki sauce, because then you might be able to get around the fact that it was just a gross experience otherwise. But yeah, that's kind of my time in Japan. The only other really event that happened was got on the plane, said goodbye to my grandma. We took 2 different planes back. Got on the plane back, no issues there. I actually got I think I got a window seat that time, so I was able to actually relax during the time there, so that was nice. Relaxed, good leg space, was able to actually stretch out and have decent flight. My flight got delayed. I get to the airport, flight gets delayed by 2 hours. I'm like, okay, that's fine. A little annoying, but I can find something to do for 2 hours. So the problem with that is the layover at the next airport I was supposed to have was only an hour long. Meaning I was going to get there 5 minutes after my next flight left. Meaning they canceled my flight. They rebooked me for the next morning at 7 a.m. So I had the joyful experience of waiting an extra 2 hours in a single airport, flying over to the next airport at like 10:35, and then just getting to stay in the airport overnight on my own. There is nothing more desolate than an airport after like 12 a.m. Everything is closed. There are like 8 people walking around at a given time. Empty. Nowhere to go. I was hungry too because I had nothing to eat. Like there was nothing for me to eat. Everywhere was closed. Nothing was open. So I got the pleasure of sitting there, holding all my bags close to me and trying to get some sleep. Didn't get a lot. I got maybe like a couple hours. I mostly like the plane ride from that airport home was about an hour. It was about an hour-long plane ride. And boy howdy, it felt like it went over in 10 minutes. Because I got on the plane, sat down, got my stuff. I had a single seat, so I was like isolated, which was nice. Or it was a double seat, so I had space, but it was just me. Like it was a small, like not many people were there. So I actually got the pleasure of just sitting there, leaning against the side of the cabin, and falling asleep, and then waking up when we were landing. Like I did not have any recollection of the entire flight. It was just an hour that was gone, gone to time. But yeah, it was frustrating. It was stressful. It was stressful. So like, I have a checked bag. Where is that gonna be? I checked my bag before I left because I figured I wasn't gonna need to worry about where it is. Where's it gonna be? Do I have to leave the airport, uncheck my bag, and then check it again tomorrow? Like I had no idea. She was like, okay, you're fine. In the morning, since you have an early flight the next day, your bag will just be on you'll just be on the next plane. You'll be fine. And it was. So it was okay. It was just stressful. But yeah, that was kind of my whole trip. Definitely a late stream. We don't normally stream this late. We're gonna have a late stream tomorrow as well. We're going until 10. So make sure to stop by for that. I don't know if anybody's still here, if you're even awake, if you are here. But thank you guys for stopping by. I know it was a weird one where I just literally talked for 4 hours. But I had a good time, and I hope you guys did too. I'm hoping to maybe get the video finished tomorrow. We'll see. We'll see. I don't know if I'm going to upload Deltarune tomorrow. I know that's next to upload, but I don't know if I'm going to upload it. Because tomorrow specifically, I work, and I have like a couple hours downtime, and then I stream. So I don't know if I'm going to have time to work on the video. And even if I do finish that video, I know I'm going to want to get something stuffed in there that isn't Franbo or Deltarune. So it might be a delay on that. But just keep an eye on all the social media for any updates on any changes. We have an ad that starts in a minute. I want to get you guys out of here before the ad starts so you aren't stuck here with that. I used all 3 snoozes. So I don't have much else to say other than thank you for joining me. Again, I appreciate it. Make sure to follow me on the different social media platforms for updates on anything that might change in case we aren't able to stream for whatever reason. Make sure to stop by tomorrow from 6 to 10 EST for some Five Nights at Freddy's. I know, the Fazbear beckons. But yes, that is all the time I have for you. So once again, thank you. And I guess seeing as I don't have much else to say, without further ado, as always, have a nice night. Bye, guys. Thanks for joining me. Bye-bye. Bye, everybody. Bye, guys. Bye, everyone. Bye-bye. Thank you. Bye, guys. Bye.